If you need a new roof, or you have roofing damage or a leak, or you even think you have a leak, you can go to securedroofingandrestoration.com, fill out the form on the front of their website, mention Tom and Dan.
Yeah, I mean, we've had a lot of storms, significant storms this season. You had a hailstorm blow through and wreck your roof. And, you might be listening to this and have some of the same issues. Secured can come out and within 24 or 48 hours, they can do emergency tarping to kind of, give you that peace of mind of protecting that. And then you can start deciding what you want to do from there.
Yeah, absolutely. And they'll do a free estimate, and they'll see if you have any damage, and they'll look at your roof, and that's all for free. So give them a call, fill out the form on securedroofingandrestoration.com. I just got a brand new roof from them, and I know plenty of our listeners have. So, and the person to talk to is Rick. Rick is kind of our contact at Secured Roofing. So when you give him a call, definitely ask to speak to Rick. He knows BDMs.
And
he knows Tom and Dan listeners.
Make sure you let him know that you're a listener. Put that in his ear, because we like to be held accountable, and because normally that's only going to help you.
Yep.
It's just going to let the client know. They're like, oh, okay, yeah, definitely. That's the partnership I have with Tom and Dan. So get a hold of them. It's securedroofingandrestoration.com. Next email.
Wasting postage. A year or so ago, Dan said he had a whole bunch of stuff on his desk that he would send to a listener. I wrote an email with my address and said I would take it. Sam read the email on the show, and Dan said, leave the email and I will send it. Well, I never got anything. A few months ago, I mentioned that I used Mo DeWitt and purposely didn't put my address, yet someone looked up my info and sent me some stuff. Well, they're better than us. 2 weeks ago, I told the show I spent almost that full $159 at Morganic Meats, and I mentioned I did not want anything sent. I was just informing you that BDMs do use your sponsors, and today I still get Tom and Dan crap in the mail. You're bad at business. Stop spending shipping money. Well, at least it wasn't a plant. LOL, I will use those glasses working outside.
He's mad we sent him free stuff.
Right? He was mad at the beginning that we didn't send him anything, and now we're sending him too much
now
garbage.
He doesn't want your garbage.
Here's the thing: when you send us an email,
that's an awesome email.
I have a follow up from that guy.
Oh no!
Is he really bad now?
Hey guys and Sam. I get quite a bit of my emails read on air, and every time I have to fast forward Sam reading what I wrote because it stresses me out.
Oh, relax.
Today I heard her say wasting postage, the subject line to my last email, because I did actually start reading this email, and then you guys had cut me off.
Yeah, we didn't do it.
Instantly, my palms started sweating. I like to hear the responses, but I hate hearing my thoughts. Even when ordering fast food, I have to have the order written down, especially after my girlfriend to screw with me at Chick-fil-A was sitting next to me relaying the order for me to repeat, and she said she wanted a McChicken. Maybe I should look into CBDs.
That's funny. She clowned you by making you say McChicken. Oh, that's mean, because she knows you have a phobia of you don't like to talk into like a lot of people don't like that. There are a lot of people. Your little brother hated it ordering.
Yeah,
Maisie hated it. She went through a thing where she couldn't even make eye contact with the waiter or waitress, and we've been working on that. Like, I've been working on that one, because that doesn't fly.
Well, we've been making our sons order themselves so that they get used to.
Good job.
I thought
Maisie's bad.
My brother thing, I thought my mom just did everything for him, but he may have had like a phobia before.
It's like anxiety. You just don't. It's not fun. It's like public speaking, man. I get a tinge of it sometimes. Like, where I used to get it and I hated it, and this was true. Is Moe's. They have some. They have some burritos on their menu that I couldn't pronounce.
Oh, because the goofy names.
One was like a John Cook, like a John something. Look up Moe's menu. There's one that's
Joey Bag of Donuts one.
There's one that's like John.
We bitched about this before.
Yeah,
don't put your stupid movie names.
It gives me anxiety because I can't say it.
I'll just point to it.
I don't want the teen like belittling me. Well, and they will.
They won't belittle you.
Yeah, they will.
They don't
vocal,
care.
And Moe's is one of the more vocal restaurants where if you say it, you'll say, like, I want a John. And John what? What kind of John? What John do you want there?
Have they changed their names?
Have they?
They're not weird anymore.
Oh.
Well, there's one that's the Home Wrecker, but that's about it. Home Wrecker, build your own burrito.
Home Wrecker, that's like...
Stacks.
Oh, they don't have the old John Kakarsh?
Yeah, because they used to have the goof actor names and like.
Yeah, I'm on their menu site right now, and it doesn't have.
Grady Seasons is right. It was a Fletch reference because I think it was one of his aliases, but I never knew how to say it.
Yeah.
And if you can't say the item, it's a dumb item, in my opinion. It should be like 1, 2, 3. Like, you want to sell it. You don't want me to have anxiety standing up there, right? To buy a $9 burrito.
No. Maybe that's why they changed it.
It's John. Oh, it's Scottish. John Cocktoson. John Cocktoson. Cocktoson. It's Cocktoson.
Okay.
John Cocktoson.
All right. Yeah.
Why would you name a burrito the John Cocktoson? Somebody explain the advertising genius that is the name.
That's the original owners, because now it's a huge franchise, right? Like that, they're trying to be cheeky, right?
I think so. People clown on Moe's a lot, though. People like in my ranks of humans that are friends, they're all Chipotle people. I'm not.
I don't really go to any of those places.
I don't either. I don't have any allegiances. I'd rather go to like a Gringo's or Black Rooster or Tannental, any of those guys.
Yeah.
Like, I take over
STP.
Yeah, Sloppy Taco can hit the spot sometimes.
I want to go there. I haven't been in so long.
Weird.
Let's do another email.
Yeah, one more.
Okay. Hey all, Ryan here, husband of Stephanie. I'll try and make this quick. I don't know if what you pulled out of your yard is a ground rod or not, but you should probably have that checked out. I normally don't take time to write on topics discussed during the show since I feel it gets mixed up in the noise, but Tom said that no one else corrected him on the ground rod issue, so I felt compelled. I heard a guy on the Friday Free Show talk about how the ground is completing the circuit, which is completely incorrect. Disconnecting a circuit is how switches work. If it were disconnected, you wouldn't have any power in your house. In complete honesty, you may never have any issues with it being gone, but the ground rod is there for safety, so there is always a worst-case scenario, one that could be fatal. Without getting too much into it, a lot of people confuse grounding and bonding. Bonding is connecting all metallic parts, not part of the circuit, together. Think of the ground wire on all outlets and switches, all connecting together back to the panel.
Don't care!
The rod connection to your electrical system is grounding. What the rod is doing is protecting your family and electronics from surges caused by lightning and utility transformers blowing up by giving the surge a path to dissipate to the ground. Although unlikely to happen, it can be very dangerous or fatal. If you happen to be touching something metal when one of these instances happens, or more likely, a strike can fry many of your electronics and happen to be plugged in, whether they are turned on or not. Take a look at what a lightning strike near a building can do.
Tom, that's what happened to my old house. Remember that?
Well, yeah, when your TV got fried out.
Everything. My air conditioner, my TV, my computers, my Xbox, my PlayStation.
Did anybody say, like, to check your ground rod?
No, but it would make sense because the guy that lived there was like a little old, he was from South America, a little old man, and he did all of his own. He's like a South American real man. He would do all his own electrical, all his own plumbing. So we had to fix a lot of problems in that house because he was a sort of a would-be fixer-upper guy, like Johnny Fix-It myself.
Yeah. But he just ruined a bunch
he ruined a bunch of stuff.
Some other BDM emailed me and that was going to come by and do a test on my house and wanted to trade me merch.
All right.
Then I emailed them back, I believe, and I was like, all right, let's do it.
A grounding rod for 2 hot tub and mini fridge shirts.
And then things got busy, and then I forgot. So, I don't know. It's one of those things where, like, it could be it could be in there. There could be multiple. Like, I know for sure.
Multiple. Where does it go?
One, the guy that was working on the house found one. I have no idea if he put it back. I
would imagine he did, right?
No way of knowing. I guess without the test. I guess
there's no way out. You have to see if it burns down.
Keep digging trenches around your house.
Also, when the lightning hit my giant trees all around my house before my roof.
That's what I say.
Yeah. Although I guess the lightning could transfer through the roots into the house. I don't know how that works.
Oh man, what if you're? Oh, my God. Okay, haven't your roots from your big trees grown into your toilets? What if it electrifies your toilets and then you're in there taking a deuce one night and a tree gets struck and it blows you into the ceiling?
Well, that, to me, is so unlikely that I'm willing to take the chance. Right?
I like that.
Because every time I'm deucing...
Because it'd be a good story, too.
Also, I have, could this be the time when I'm deucing and there's a thunderstorm? I'm like, what if...
You're not going to spend a lot of time there. It's going to be better for your colon.
But also, it's
you don't want to sit there too long. You'll get hemorrhoids.
I think we all evolved, almost dying all the time. Think about it. 200,000 years ago, we were constantly being, nearly killed by everything, including your teeth. So, it's maybe we should have that fear of death every once in a while, make us better.
I like that. Way to put a positive spin on it.
No grounding rod.
Yeah, that's good. One more?
Yeah. Let's
keep going. I'm having fun. Let's do it.
Electric vehicles talk. Hey, show. I wanted to chime in about the electric vehicle talk from a recent Friday Free show.
Yeah, it was me, I think, because I was trying to decide when my mom passed away, I wanted to do a freak out purchase, and I'm like, I'll buy a Tesla, but I didn't.
Yeah.
I've yet to do any freak out purchasing, but I thought about it because I they're pretty cool. I'm a fan.
You should buy a Tesla.
It kind of fits me, I think.
Yeah, and just so you could experience it, drive it around, you like tech as the ultimate tech car.
Love tech, but I would definitely want to let it drive itself everywhere.
Yeah, that's perfect, too. You could hit the self-driving and never have to drive again.
Oh, that's awesome.
Sam, you bring up a good point. Who do you know that drives an EV? There's a big push by governments to dissuade automakers from producing ICE, internal combustion engines, entirely by 2030. California, of course, is the first state, I believe, to ban them by the next decade. It's rather weak, that particular bit from California. I'm sure Big Auto will lobby to have that overturned by then. But automakers themselves have shifted to some number of EV by then as well, mostly, though, to compete with Tesla. They can't, though. Please tell Seth that although he thinks EVs today look lame, to at least drive one. A couple days ago in a Tesla, and anything else is literally undrivable. Seriously, though, a Model S long range will easily smoke his tampon. And do it without forcing him to breathe in the obnoxious fumes and PM 2.5 that come from the pipes on that tampon.
Yeah,
thank you, nerd.
The electric cars are fast, and they perform better than combustion engine cars because the engine has way more torque and can accelerate faster. Doesn't have to deal with gears. Dude, when I drove that electric motorcycle that time,
it was ridiculous.
That Jimmy let me drive, that was the most fun motorcycle that I've driven. Just because it was the most weird, and the fact that it was so fast, didn't change gears, an instant power transfer. So it's if the motors are better, more efficient, and the added bonus of not polluting the earth, why wouldn't everything turn electric? You know what I'm saying? Unless you really were a purist and you wanted the combustion engine for whatever reason. But, it seems like most race cars, everything's going to go electric once they figure out
those charging stations. Do you have to pay to use those?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, you do. Dan Paul in the Twitch chat room, and I've heard this from a lot of BDMs and listeners of this program that have Teslas, because we have a lot of guys that do. And many of them, if not most of them, have said that the build quality of Tesla would drive me crazy because it's just not quite there yet.
Yeah, that makes sense. Yeah,
it does. Well, they're new.
Also, not necessarily a luxury car.
No, it's not. I don't believe it. It's kind of looked at as that because it is rather expensive.
I think it's just the price tag. Yeah.
So they have to make it cheaper. Yeah. When you get an Audi, you had that Audi. That is.
I'm glad I did that. Andrea,
it's built to be a luxury car. Everything is pristine. Yeah. Everything is built solid. It's there's nothing cheap about it.
It was amazing. And before
I imagine there's some cheap stuff with Tesla.
Well, before I had May. Before I had my daughter, I'm glad I had that car. That was a lot of fun. It was a great, amazing car. I was able to own sort of a dream sedan that I had wanted for a very long time, and it was really cool. Well, I never owned it. I leased it, but it was awesome. No regrets there. But yeah, I've heard that from a lot of Tesla owners. But I think EVs are awesome. I think they're super cool.
My whole problem would be remembering to plug everything in.
Yeah.
That I could imagine if I had an electric car, there would be multiple scenarios where I didn't plug the car in because I was in a hurry and I was like, I'll plug it in a minute.
Right.
Forget, just like I do with the garbage every basically Tuesday and Thursday.
Yeah.
Is I forget to do it and then I run out. And at least with the garbage, I could do it in the morning before they come.
Or you take your supercharger and you drop it into the pool, electrifying everything that's inside there.
But I don't think that works with the Tesla. If you didn't charge your electric car, you're pretty much screwed because it takes time.
Yeah, it does. Yeah. It's not immediate.
So that would be my only issue with the electric vehicle, because other than that, and the driving distance, and I couldn't tow my boat, I guess.
I think you can, though. I've seen people pulling things with Teslas. I saw a guy pulling a camper with the big SUV.
Yeah, we saw that. When we went up to Hourglass.
Yeah. And I think that those trucks actually pull more than you even think. I think that their towing capacity has been upgraded a lot. I could be wrong on that.
Well, they got electric F-150 now, and everybody there. They're making trucks. So.
The electric F-150 is intriguing off the fact, because I've been on their website. I have a deposit down in a Bronco. I just don't know if I'll ever get it. When did I do that? I mean, forever, in a year ago, 2 years ago.
How does that work? Is it that you get first dibs?
If they start ever producing them, I guess they're slowly leaking out the 2021s now. And that was like 2 years ago. They're like, it's been a very long time.
Okay. Can you see where you're on the list?
They're not. They're communicating because of the COVID and supply chains and chips and everything being behind. They're just extremely behind. But that new F-150, you can power your house. Like, let's say you had a hurricane and it was in your garage. It's got a cable, I guess, you can plug into, and you can have your house wired for it. And you could, like, plug it into your home, and you could run, I think, all power in selected zones for 3 days off of the F-150. I was like, that's amazing. Who wouldn't want that as a safety feature, right?
Does it self-power, too? Like, does it have a combustion and electric engine?
Don't know. I just went on the Ford website. Sam, you can look it up. Look up the new electric F-150. You can power your home off of it.
Yeah. You just plug it into, like, a generator, and it's like a battery, cells of batteries, right? But I wonder if it, like, can...
F-150 Lightning.
Yeah, buddy.
If it can charge itself. Because I remember that...
it's electric only.
Okay.
Yeah, the chat room.
So you'd have to charge it somewhere else if it ran out of power, like, obviously...
Well, it'd be if there was a hurricane coming, what you would do is you'd go fire up your F-150 at the charging station, pack it full of power, park it in your garage, and...
And you got a huge battery.
Yeah, now you can run... It says that... I think you could run an air conditioner for like a week. If you just wanted to run that, you could run almost everything in your home for like 3 days.
It would have to be
like a generator, basically. Right?
Yeah, but it would
have to be a window AC. It couldn't be run your central area. Yeah. But
I guess I don't know.
I know from I got an outdoor plug so that my generator can be plugged into my house, and the electrician told me that you could either run the AC and nothing else, or the rest of your stuff, cool. But without your AC. You can't run both.
Oh, I just pick AC, and the rest of it we'll just figure out.
But we've got like a mini split in Crystal's office, so our hurricane plan is just to run the mini split and just, because it seems like a waste to run your central AC with your, no reason to power your whole and air condition your entire house. You pick a room and air condition the room to sleep in.
Just go for that one.
And well, that's what everybody's hurricane plan is, right?
Yeah, that's what I did. Yeah.
You get like some mini AC or like portable AC, cool a room, and then
live in there. That's what I did. I did it for 18 days.
And your refrigerator and stuff, and that's it. And
37 total. The other were in a hotel. I'd had enough. That worked for a couple of weeks, and then I hit a point where I was like, I can't do this anymore.
It says the Ford Intelligent Backup Power can provide full home power for up to 3 days on a fully charged battery.
Full home power.
Or as long as 10 days if rationing power.
That's nuts, right?
That's longer than I thought.
That's what I said. I
guess it depends on the home and all that stuff. Yeah. What you're doing.
Who knows how they're they put the ad magic on there. You're powering a tiny home for Oh, we have a different level of time. We tell time differently. You having your caffeine problem, buddy?
I didn't even. I had
Maybe
coffee.
It's not, I don't think it's caffeine. I think it's allergies. I think you have allergies. You're.
I re-upped my acid reflux medication that I'm picking up, and I think I got some. I'm getting acid reflux at night, and then it's burning my throat.
Do you still go to bed after eating 2 full bowls of habanero chili?
I'm not sure what. I think it's all the I'm a healthy.
White Claw?
It's a big alcohol. Then it's like hot. All that stuff. And I think, everybody's body...
I only eat turkey sandwiches, and I only drink coffee and White Claw. That's it.
Anyway, let's do one more voicemail.
All right, let me see if I got it. Let me see if I got one in here. If you want to leave us one, I'm in need. Use our app to get a... Oh, you're going to like this one. This one's for you, Tom.
Tom, I'm going to refute your racism. It is not racist. It is true. I BDM Neil here. I am half Hispanic. My parents, or my mother and whole family is from Puerto Rico. Bro, you're totally right. You can call it Miami time. You can call it Hispanic time. It's actually leached onto me. Like, I actually have it. It's like something I have to like shake the habit of. It's ridiculous. My wife complains about it all the time, but it's like, no, it's just Hispanic time, bro. It's not racist. It's the truth.
There you go. You said it. I didn't.
Well, from what I've seen and from talking to all my friends and living in Miami, and my friends, there's just the time. If they tell you if the time is like show up here at 2:30, everybody's showing up at 3. And that's just literally how it's done.
At parties, when you were invited to parties as a kid, or even now, like if you and your wife get invited to, let's say I'm having a house party, and I say, hey, we'll starts around 7, hors d'oeuvres and stuff. It's almost always known to be loose, right? You're not going to be there at 7.
With adults having a loose thing like that, yeah.
Like pop by, have a cocktail. Like you're not.
Yeah. That's loose. But I'm talking about even if it's like kid's birthday party, whatever. Even if it's a wedding, this is what I've learned.
Typically are not loose. Weddings and birthday parties are on the nut.
It's loose in Miami,
right?
Yeah, like half an hour later, 45 minutes later. Never on the exact time that you put on the invitation. It just doesn't work like that. And everybody knows, and everybody lives like that. And that's the.
Now, what about end time? Is it a hard end time or is it a loose end time as well?
Well, usually don't put the end time. It's just like it's open-ended or whatever.
Well, like if it's a birthday party for kids and they say 2:30 to 4.
Like rented a pavilion or something.
Is it really 3 till 4:45?
The end time is always loose,
Then you just have no concept of how to use numbers. You're writing the wrong time on the thing because it's something we all do, right?
Yeah. Well, if you put the time that you wanted someone to show up, then they'd come half an hour later.
Right.
If depending on
this is so
right.
Why not just put the time you want people to show up?
I'm just asking if they're expected to, like, if it's a 2-hour party, 2 to 4, and you guys show up at 2:30, is it expected to carry over now to 4:30 to compensate for that loss of 30 minutes?
Well, it's like, just like when I showed up at that other kid's birthday party, and then everybody was still setting up, and they're like, why? Everybody's looking at me like, why the hell did you show up at the exact time I put in the invitation? Because I didn't realize that it was this situation where it was assumed that everybody's going to show up half an hour later, like they do in Miami.
Gotcha. That makes a lot of sense.
Well, it's crazy because why are you even putting a time if you really mean half an hour later? But that's what everybody has to do because that's what everybody does.
Is it because Miami's so large of a city and it's just kind of hard to get places, maybe?
Well, like this gentleman said, it's a Hispanic thing that I've seen, and it may be...
Christine in the chat is fighting against that hardcore. She's Puerto Rican. She says never late.
Well, I mean, it's subjective.
Being rude.
You can either choose to have it in your family or not, I feel like.
I'm just telling you what I've seen.
I don't know if it's a race thing. I think it's just some people just inherently are always late. They're just always late.
But that's true. That's true. But it just seemed like, I don't know why it's in Miami. Like, it's heavily, like, I was, the minority in Miami being white, growing up. And
a lot of your friends have agreed with you. Like, and they're Spanish. Like,
maybe it's just your Miami friends that are bad at life.
Well, this guy that just called in, and everybody I know that would vouch for me.
We've had other like Latin listeners write in.
It sounds
and say,
racist.
Hey Dan,
but it's not even,
sounds bad. But
I know a ton of white people that are always late.
True,
too, so that's what I'm saying. I don't think it's
but it's not even
cultural thing.
But it's not even because if there's people that are always late, and that's a rude thing because they wanted you to show up at a certain time and you showed up late. I'm saying that's the way of doing business. Like, it's considered rude if you showed up on time because you're like, why the hell are you here? We're still setting up. Right. It's like showing up early to a house party and then the wife just took a shower and you're like,
I've done that with your wife a couple times where I show up.
Well, because we're on Miami time.
Yeah, I know. I show up at the pool party.
We expected everybody to show up half an hour later.
This is a great example. I'm glad we're talking about this because it's true. I'll come over. The Dennises,
when they ask you to,
the Dennises have never had a concept of Miami time We're DeLando, Orlando. That's all we've done, right? A little Virginia sprinkled on top.
Honky whites.
Yeah, honky whites. And we pull up, and I ring the doorbell, and then here comes Crystal, like nude, towel wrapped around her, because we came there. He said everybody's showing up at 11. That didn't mean you get there at 11. That means show up at 11:30, and then we'll swim for a little bit and have lunch.
Yeah.
I blew it.
But we've learned that it's different up here in Orlando. We've lived in Orlando longer than in Miami now. So, and then it just depends on who you're dealing with. But yeah, that's the way it always was. And it's not even a bad thing. It was just the way it was done.
This is interesting. Rich in our Twitch chat room says, I'm late often, and people think I'm Hispanic. Does that count for anything?
It sounds bad. I'm just saying that what I've witnessed myself, and what all my you talk to my Hispanic friends, they'll tell you it sounds.
This has been confirmed by multiple people.
It sounds less bad coming from them than it does old honky.
True, that is true.
Although at least I grew up in Miami, so I can tell you the reality of what I experienced.
Correct,
and that's what I've always known.
Hey, old honky, we gotta get out of here.
All right, bye. Welcome to A Corporate Time with Tom and Dan. I'm Tom.
I am Dan.
If you want to listen to us broadcast live, you can do it through Twitch.
Hey, thanks for mentioning that. Yeah. I always forget that we are live on Twitch every single day.
Yeah.
And as things kind of continue, you get some people that are like, oh, this is where all of broadcasting is going. Streams. Everything is streams.
Yeah.
It's probably true, but you get some purists that, hey, I just want the audio. Well, you're in luck. We're on Apple Podcasts. Twitch has an audio-only version that you can use there. You can download us anywhere you get podcasts. But every single day, we are live on this amazing website called Twitch, twitch.tv, and you just search Tom and Dan Live. You'll find our channel. If you are a Prime member, you can subscribe and give us a little bit of your money, and it costs you nothing.
Old Bezos gives us the money.
Mm-hmm.
So, you want to stick it to Bezos?
Oh, yeah. Old D&B. The D&B.
Also on
rocket, right? It looked like a D&B.
On the Twitch broadcast, it's different than the podcast. I don't I'm explaining this because we never talk about it, but the Twitch broadcast, you'll get to hear during the breaks when we're not recording.
Yeah.
The podcast is put together in show form.
Sure.
So, there's an intro edited onto it and all that. So the Twitch feed, you could actually listen to everything that happens because sometimes we talk.
You can hear us do things like save files, get water, go pee-pee.
I guess
check their phone.
When you break
Samantha yell at Tom. Tom yell at Daniel. Daniel make it weird. Tom get Advil. Dan get aspirin and more.
Mostly it's just me looking down at my phone in silence. So if you want to,
I'll do an impression. And it's good. All right, what segment was that, Sam?
Then you flip out about the segment.
I can't do it. Well, lately it hasn't been a flip out. Lately it's been a guys. I don't know, where I think I'm going to die.
That's a flip out too.
Well, it's not going to be on you guys though. It's just going to be me collapsing in the chair, and that's it. You just push me aside.
What happens when that happens? Because it's like
I'm going to leave.
It hurts. Oh, when I just die?
Because
I want Sam to put me on her shoulder like a sack of rice and run for her car, throw me in the back, and just drive.
Call Andrea and be like, "Well, it finally happened."
No, you just drive past the house and just roll me out.
Is it
just like you would if I was a gang member and you needed to throw me at the hospital?
Is it anger at your own brain for not remembering what and then
you must do it too,
and then you can't get past the fact that why isn't this saved?
Yes.
I just you've
done it then, so you know exactly what I'm talking about.
Oh yeah.
So I asked Sam, what segment did we record? She tells me, I file it. I go back right now, gone. It's gone. Where'd I put it? Don't know.
Yeah.
Where did it go? Nobody knows.
Then you're like mad, and then you're like, what is happening?
Yes, and then I'm like, well, you obviously have brain cancer. Because the hypochondria in there swirl, but then I'm like, you don't have brain cancer. It doesn't work like that.
Yeah.
Like, you got
dementia, though. Sweet, old dementia.
Oh, man.
It happens slow. And then it's like that. Where did I put my shoes?
Now, I will say that there is that feeling of not remembering. When I'm sitting there, if I lean into it and I just become sort of non-remembering brain dead, it's nice in there. It's nice. It's just
like I don't know nothing.
No, you're doing it.
It does feel good.
People feel bad for people that have bad dementia, but I'm just like,
We're all slowly getting it.
Yeah, I
But
mean,
I want
Or
the
is it
one,
sweet relief? Because then you don't
well,
know
I'm like,
nothing.
the actual people aren't. I mean, you say they're suffering,
but
but
it's
they
the
don't.
people around them, right?
Yeah. Those people don't know what's going on. They don't know who
they're
they
having a
are,
lovely life.
who they love.
Well, they get to-
sounds sad, but it's sweet.
Do you mean to tell me that I can go to a place where everybody's going to take care of me, and my brain will start selectively deleting politics, fighting,
Everybody, family.
racial issues, inequality,
I think-
social, and then all
But
of
you
the.
remember the ingrained stuff from a long time
But
ago.
I want the bad stuff. Like, I wouldn't
But
be
you
paying
don't-
attention to the news. I wouldn't be, president's thing rolling around. No, I wouldn't be into any of that. Because I'm people taking care of Danny. Come over here, Danny.
No, they're
Come
still-
over here, Danny.
They're still into it. It's just they forget what happened. Like
Roosevelt is like that.
2 minutes ago. Yeah. It's like you forget what your grandson looks like. But you remember
Right.
where you were when he was born. See if that makes
Ooh.
sense. Like you remember things from a long time
Now,
ago.
what is
but
this one?
Like you forget things. It's the short-term memory. I'm sure it's the same thing that gets messed up with marijuana. Why you have bad short-term memory with marijuana because that's a thing.
What is this one where you get to a point where you're so old that you do a lot of this? I mean, it's a physical gag, but like you're like, how do you? What happens to make your neck?
Oh, the
rolling old man neck.
Yeah,
That's nerves, right?
I don't. It's like he. I think that's involuntary. It's kind of like
Yeah, you can't stop it.
Yeah, it's like Michael J. Fox with
Well,
his.
that's Parkinson's.
Yeah, but there's a version of that. I'm saying like other things that cause an involuntary just
A neurological issue.
like a
Yeah.
continued movement or whatever. I think that's what it is. I mean, it's just like
Or do you get the jelly neck like babies do?
there's just like
when
you
they're
just have to
born?
constantly
You can't
move
hold
or
your own
whatever.
neck.
That's like doing the stanky leg, right?
I feel like it's getting very disrespectful.
No. I'm just telling you the
Yeah,
truth.
we're just telling you the truth. Do you know the Latin word for parking lot?
I do not.
Is this a racist joke?
Oh my
No,
god!
it's not.
Okay.
No, of course it's not.
Okay, where do you put the paycheck?
No. Oh my God. Let's do voicemails. Jumping to voice. Let's do emails too.
Okay.
Let's do them both. Let's not discriminate. Let's do voicemails, emails, and let's start with an email while I pull up the voicemail.
All right. Good afternoon. I really enjoy the music you play during the break. It is another great reason to watch and listen on Twitch. Do you keep a playlist of all of your tracks? I looked through Spotify, but only found one dating back to 2015 by Joseph John.
Yeah, there's a guy that used to do it for me.
Yeah, the playlist.
Yeah.
There's a Spotify playlist.
But it hasn't been updated since 2015. There used to be a guy that did it all the time.
Yeah,
and then
we didn't give him enough credit and thank him for doing
No,
it. So he
no.
just like a lot of people who help us.
You're
like,
lucky that I stuck around, buddy.
Right,
and I'm
okay.
thinking about leaving.
I know.
Yeah, I know. There's people hiring out there, Sam.
There's jobs.
I've been looking.
I don't know if you
There's
know
a
that.
million jobs
If I
everywhere.
were
What do you want to do?
If I were you, I'd get
I
on
don't know.
monster.com right now.
you don't even need to. Just go in.
Just yell out the window.
Just pick a business if they are hiring.
if you walk outside right now and just go, hello, they'll be like, you need a job?
But the problem, the worst ones are hiring the most.
That's what I'm. Yeah, that's the
The
problem.
real good ones, they're kind of hiring. You know.
So no playlist.
No, well, okay, here's the deal with the playlist. The dude made the playlist, and then he wrote to me one day and said, like, hey, I can't do this anymore. There's too much going on. I put it on my list of things to do. You and I have a list of things to do that's never ending. And then I had to choose. You know, I used to do a thing at the end of every Friday Free Show where I would give you footnotes and say, hey, here are the bands that I'm listening to this week, or here are the songs that are included in the show. I don't do that anymore. And it's twofold. Number one, copywritten music, even though we are allowed and we have been licensed to play certain things through publishers and through
we get permission
we
through
do.
the label.
We
or
do.
whatever.
We work with labels. Not all podcast aggregators know that, so sometimes that can be sticky. And I do the video components now for Twitch and for YouTube, so it's just hard for me to produce everything here. But it is something that we could do. Like Sam and I could, it would be as simple as me on Friday mornings of writing down the songs and just including it on the sheet, and then we just go to Spotify and just add it to a playlist. I mean, we can do it.
It's also the worst possible scenario, and I'll explain, in the fact that the people that did enjoy listening to it, because I'm talking about you would do a separate show on Saturdays.
Yeah.
When you were doing that, the people that enjoyed that really, really enjoyed it, but the majority of people cared less. You see what I'm saying?
Right.
But the people that enjoyed you doing it cared so much where it sucks for those people because it's like it's time consuming, hard to do, and for all those reasons, you're just like, I can't do it. But the people that really liked it a lot.
Like I got 2 very strongly worded letters when I stopped doing them, but they were long letters. You know what I mean? Like they were really
passionate about it.
Yeah. I mean, Daniel's doing that for the sake of entertainment because
also,
he likes music.
You could do it on your own, listener. I mean, you could always make a list and add it. Make a playlist on your Spotify, and then when Dan says whatever the song and the name is, just go ahead and throw it in there.
Yeah. I mean
I do that on other shows. I do that on other shows. I'm serious.
And he gathers this music and vets it personally because he's a musicman, and then plays it for the Friday Free Show for everybody to listen to because he finds new bands that he likes and he plays. So he's doing the majority of the work. Put it on a list and mail it to me. Like, do it yourself.
Yeah, I love doing it, but we only have so much time, and I don't want to work on the weekends. And okay,
what
another hot topic? I normally don't get the hot topics. I'm pretty basic, I think, when it comes to things. And but one that really has been lighting a fire lately is me being a natural born chirper. Which is the movie I would be in.
It's real dark.
Yeah, it's real dark.
Hey, Tom, Dan, Sam, Trav, Seth, I don't know who the hell was there. I'm listening to Kimbo Slice, and at the end of it, Dan and the gang, everyone's talking about Dan's chirping at the people who work at Publix, his, desire to make small talk.
Before this guy continues, can we all agree that based on his voice, you want to party with this guy?
100%.
100%.
I was just thinking, like, I hope my voice doesn't turn into that because it's hard to listen to.
I love it.
Party guy voice.
This guy, I just want to cruise in a convertible Mustang with this guy and smoke cheap cigarettes.
Like, your voice sounds like screeching tires.
I love it.
I love it.
Harsh.
I don't know. Sam and I like it. You dislike it. We'll continue.
He screamed a million screams.
You're going
to sound like that soon.
I know. That's what I'm afraid of. But, like, no one's going to be able to listen to me. Like, I can't. Like, I used to like the show, but Tom's voice is hard to listen to.
Between that and the laugh.
With all these people, I worked Publix was my very first job. I worked there for almost 5 years, like high school into college, and then I embarked on an incredibly long stretch of similar customer service adjacent jobs, and I love the small talk. I'm a big fan. It is literally the only thing that makes my day go by in a quick manner, and it allows me to have fun with both my other coworkers and the people who are working there. Is the chit chat it up. Talk. Otherwise, we're just like standing there being a bunch of grumpy holes. And I don't want to be like that. I want to have fun. I want to talk to people. Bye. Love the show. Bye.
Love you too, party animal. You are my new favorite caller.
Listen, the reason why his voice is like that
because he likes to chirp.
Talking too goddamn much.
You're right. He chirped his voice out because
was he saying? Did I mishear that? Was he saying that amongst his coworkers?
Yeah, they have fun.
That's different. I'm talking about with like customers.
Yeah.
Of course, you chit chat with the people you work with.
Yeah, but this guy sounds like a chirper, just like Daniel. And if Daniel,
I'm not a chirper. I'm a micro chirp.
If Daniel worked at Publix, he'd be chirping at the customers. And you know what I'm saying? Like
slowest line in the history of lines.
Yeah. So then,
come through my line. Let me talk to you about Taco Tuesday. Come to my line. Let me ask you what you're making tonight. Come to my line and allow me to walk you through a better way to make banana bread.
What happens when you encounter another chirper?
69. Audio 69. We start audio 69.
You can't pull them away from each other.
You just start chirping. Yeah. How long does someone's got to pull you away because you just want to chirp at them?
Well, Sam sometimes has to do this in Publix.
Well, I'm also mad at you because you made it very awkward for my last Publix transaction.
Today?
The girl it was yesterday after work. I swung by Publix for a couple things.
Was it the same lady?
It was the same lady that you asked about, and I didn't say anything to her, and she looked mad.
Yeah, because she knows you're not a chirper. She knows you're a mean old bitch.
Yep. And now, instead of it just being a normal transaction where I just checked myself out and moved on my way, she looked at me like I was a mean old bitch.
She has a cupcake tattoo. She's cool. She's a cool dude.
Yeah, because when you encounter a chirper and then a mean mean old bitch.
I'm sorry. I should have never. You know what? I apologize to you for doing that experiment with you along for the ride.
That's right. You got to do that on your own.
You're right. That was unfair.
Now I'm compromised.
You are.
Now I have to force myself to chirp so I don't look like a mean old bitch.
Yeah, because the chirper talks. This has happened with me and Daniel so many times where Daniel's in front of me.
He puts you in an awkward space,
and
right?
He's chirping it up, chirping. He's telling jokes. He's like doing this whole thing.
And now you got to chirp by proxy or you're an idiot.
Yeah. Then the lady goes to me, and then she's like, "Well, what are you going to do for me?"
Make me laugh, you piece of ass.
God.
Look, I just wanted
to get my chips and go.
I'm trying to get more listeners from the cool kids over here because the only people listening are in their 50s. I'm trying to get the young black teens over here listening to it.
They're not listening.
They're looking at TikTok, which, by the way, my son's...
Hold on.
There you go.
Yeah, my son's...
That's good for the radio listener.
Yeah, throw some of that in there every once in a while for the visual listeners.
They discovered animal TikTok, and it's their favorite thing in the world. They'll sit there, and now it's surpassed even watching YouTube video games because it comes at a faster and more comical, small 15 seconds.
Fall down.
Yeah.
Bark. Chicken clucking.
Or it's animal jump. Animal makes weird sound. Animal wears hat.
Monkey cartwheel.
Here comes
Animal
the boy. Have you come across those?
Oh yeah. And then there's one where
I'm fast as F, boy. I'm fast as F.
Yeah. And then it's the cat.
Maisie actually saw that one, and she knows that word, and she giggled, laughed, and I'm like, oh man, I'm doing a bad job.
Mm-hmm.
Or they show the cat swatting at something fast, and they put kung fu noises. They're
falling for it. But they got that from their mom.
Do you want to fight me?
Yeah.
Do you want to catch these hands?
That's good. They got it from their mom because their mom is a mean mom. They got it from Crystal.
Yeah.
This isn't your fault.
Wait, is she a mean old bitch?
No, she
Yes.
Oh, you crazy?
She's the meanest.
Does your wife?
I ththought you reported to her.
No, she doesn't chirp. She's just like you, old bitch. Doesn't. I think I have, because I'll do awkward small talk where you get me going and then I'll just start.
But they don't even want to hear it.
No, yeah.
They don't want to hear the chirps.
I'm doing some weird hybrid.
Crystal both don't want to ever hear you talk.
No, I know. Nobody does. My sons. I started explaining.
Your best friends.
I started explaining to them how the moon is formed from Earth, and then Max would be boring. He's bullying me. And they wait for me to get going, and then Max says boring.
I love
and
that. Max is my favorite.
He got the bullying for me. I'm proud of him, though, because I'm like, oh, that's good. That's bullying me.
You have to look sad and walk away, and you're like, all right.
Yeah.
All right, I guess I'll... should I continue the chirping ones? Because there's a bunch.
Yeah,
sure.
All right, we'll chirp them out.
Hey, guys. Chirpers are the same as choppers. Discuss it among yourselves.
We kind of addressed that a little bit.
It's not quite the same.
It's a form of chopping.
It is a form.
But listen, I analyze this a lot. It's all I think about. So,
oh, man.
A chopper...
Oh, now he's dying.
Well, no, I was just sitting there thinking about it. It's like, that's what you're thinking about?
I know.
That's what you're thinking about?
No wonder we can't get anything done around here.
Butler will chop different people in Walking
both.
Bad.
That's the thing. Butler is both. He's a chirper and a chopper.
But but just like I said on the Friday Free Show, chirp choppers will chirp at you, and then when the person starts discussing the back to you or talking back to you, they're uninterested because all they wanted to do is put it out their chirp. See, Daniel's willing to put out the chirp and receive a chirp back.
I love to receive a good chirp.
Chirp choppers just chirp out what they don't care about.
Selfish chopping. Or chirping. Selfish chirping. I used to work with a person that was a selfish chirper who she would walk up to me and she'd like tell me some chirp and then I'd go, oh, that's interesting. And then they'd be like, on to the next thing.
Yeah.
And
chirp
I'm like,
chopping.
Wait a minute. I want to chirp-ciprocate here, and I can't chirp-ciprocate.
Butler doesn't care about anybody. Like, he'll walk by
himself.
He'll walk by the painters and chirp at them and ask them, like, hey, how's
the weather up there?
yeah. But then just keep walking. Well, he didn't even care about the answer.
Wait for the answer.
He just wanted to yell at the painters. So it's a de-evolved form of chirping. Like, it's the original.
It's the original chirp.
Yeah, but you're an evolved chirper where you want the reciprocal chirping back at you, and you'll stand there and chirp for a while. Chirp choppers don't do it, so that's the difference.
Next email, Samantha.
Oh, okay. I thought we were doing more chirps.
Yeah, well, I got rid of the other ones were guys calling back, and they'd be like, yeah, listen to the show, or I'm a chirper. And it's like, yeah, we know.
Well, since Tom still thought the Olympics was going on, let's read this about the Olympics.
Okay.
I was recently listening to an episode of ACT where you talked about the Olympics and how it had such low ratings, and the only reason people seem to watch anymore is due to patriotism. Ooh. This was actually the first Olympics that I've tuned into or even paid attention to. While I've been working, I've had it on in the background and was trying to keep up with all the sports that don't make any sense, like handball, and the new addition, skateboarding. It's also been really interesting to watch the U.S. going from behind in gold medals around the beginning to edging out past China to have the most gold by only one medal. But what's really been fascinating is how many amazing stories have come out about the athletes from our country in different countries, such as the Olympic swimmer from Syria who fled to Greece and had to help pull their raft through open water for over 3 hours after their engine failed. Or Tamura Mensah-Stock becoming the first U.S. black woman to win gold in wrestling.
Saw that.
Or all the other firsts to happen for other foreign countries who were competing. It may have had low viewership, but it also has been really exciting to follow along with everyone. Other countries included have done this year, and all the amazing athletes who were there representing their countries.
What I determined I think maybe you fall in here a little bit, Tom.
Yeah.
Maybe not so much with the Olympics, but I found that like World Cup, Olympics, big, grandiose sporting competitions, Invicta games, let's say that. Like that. Yeah. That's the one for, is that military? Is that the military games, the Invicta games?
Maybe.
I think it might be. The one where Prince Harry's connected to, I think that's Invicta. Anyway, all of these, if they televise them, and I could just have them on in my office or at my house at all times, I would. I like having live sporting
Invictus
events.
Games, international sporting event for wounded, injured, and sick servicemen and women.
It's really cool and it's huge, but I think
that's called good for Ale House Bar.
But I like that stuff. I don't know. There's something about it when it's on at the house. If it's just on in the background, it's kind of cool and it's live, so you feel sort of connected to it. There's an energy there.
True, and it's good. And Andrea was playing the Olympics all the time, and some people, like this particular person, liked the stories and liked the Olympics, but
Andrea loves it.
It still doesn't negate the fact that it seemed to me, at least, and I don't know about everybody else, but my perspective was that people were less interested this year than they were 4 years ago.
Yeah, I
agree.
And 4 years before that, like they were talking about it
less. And it did have lower ratings, right?
Yeah, it had lower ratings, and then it was talked about less on social media, or that we're getting more cluttered, so it just got lost.
The only thing that was really talked about was like the controversial stuff, not the actual sporting events.
But even the controversies happen in today's news cycle where they're like, they're gone, because you're getting so many stories thrown at you that it may just, not that people are less interested, it just got lost in the clutter, right?
Yeah,
that's true. Maybe that's it. It's like people are as interested as they were, but they just are distracted by more.
Sure.
Yeah, and that's probably what we saw. Right? And that's only getting worse, right? And like 4 years from now, are we at maximum distraction?
Or it could just be there's other stuff we'd rather watch. You know? Like maybe we were interested in it, but now we got other stuff that we're more interested in.
And couldn't it come back around? Like if we had one really high profile, let's say snowboarder or something for Winter Olympics. I mean, it could come around where we would be more interested in Winter Olympics than summer, right? Or no? Or are you arguing that once it's gone, it's gone?
Well, I'm arguing now that we've reached maximum distraction, which is an awesome monster truck name. That there's no way to ever have the popularity of anything because it's all going to be
kind of like the old Beatles effect of there'll never be a band that big because of the way we consume things.
Yeah. So there's.
Yeah, and I think there's something to that.
Have we reached?
We've changed. We've changed between Olympics.
We have the unlimited choices.
But I mean, even between the last Olympics that got decent viewership and this Olympics in 4 years' time, or longer than that because of the pandemic, the changes that we made as a world were so. I mean, right?
Huge,
That's what happened.
The pandemic was another worldwide event that changed people's cultures everywhere.
Yeah.
And by
it also
that
changed
I mean
our routines, what we consume, what we enjoy.
Pushed everybody more towards the internet faster, right? It's like we're already going that way, and then all of a sudden it just like boom, and a drastic spike of like, all right, now it's way more people and it happened way faster than
so
it
I can
normally
watch
would've.
sports that I really don't get to see very often that I don't fully understand, or I'm already on the internet. I can watch the newest season of Rick and Morty.
Yeah.
Or
Right, is that what happened?
Or just scroll through Facebook, or you know, it's
or
like,
create your own content, make some money, whatever.
Right.
It's like,
you know,
We're not even thinking about the people that are making their own videos and don't care to consume.
think about just like scrolling social media. That takes a lot of people's attention, and I'm probably the majority of people's attention, right? Younger generations, so they're just scrolling Facebook. So it's like just that. They're not listening to like a long form anything. They're just scrolling TikTok and watching garbage videos, and like they'll do that for 40 minutes instead of consume any other show or a 40-minute sitcom, or you know. And so that's distracting a lot of people. Think about how like I do it, so I know what happens to other people. Where I'll watch a show and then I'll just find myself picking up my phone and just scroll through TikTok, and I'm like, what am I doing? Like, am I watching the show or am I scrolling my social media? But like, my brain is addicted to like the show's not happening fast enough. So I'm like, oh, let's see what's happening. Like it's like the ADD, which I'm sure
I think
doesn't
that's
help.
one of the biggest reasons for people to go back to movie theaters, right? Because you just go in and you put your phone down for like 2 hours and you just focus on that movie.
Yeah, but it's probably
That's hard for me to do.
hard for people. Hard for a lot of people to do.
Admittedly,
It was
it's hard
nice
for
to
me
do that. Like I went and saw The Jungle Cruise in theaters, and I was like, oh, that was nice. To
I've heard that's a good-ass
not
movie.
get distracted and like solely focus on this movie.
You should force yourself to do it because, like, not being able to sit down and watch something for 2 hours.
We're all multitasking all the time.
I hate it.
Yeah.
That's why I play guitar. I put my phone down,
Yeah.
I turn it off, and I sit there and I play guitar for like an hour. And when I'm done, it's amazing. You stand up and you're like, oh, I feel really good. You know, it's like it's almost like your mind is just like, oh, thank you for not giving me that stupid device.
I never understood the whole disconnecting thing. Like, yeah, I went to the woods and I disconnected or whatever. Like, I was like, okay, what are, you know. Like,
It's really nice.
You know,
What are you, some kind of hippie?
but I know exactly what that feels like because I feel a difference if I leave my phone or I don't have my phone on me or whatever, and I'm out in the world with no phone. I'm like, first you get a feeling of panic, like, oh God, like what if someone's trying to get a hold of me? Then you slowly revert back to remembering what it was like without a phone,
Right.
which is I'm gonna be fine. I'm
But
gonna go.
kids growing up will never know that feeling because they've always had a way to contact them.
Yeah. It's bizarre, but
So think about the panic they will have if they are like out of range or something, or they lose their phone. You're gonna have panic attacks.
maybe you
God.
train them and you disconnect them on purpose so that they know the difference. Maybe that'll be a thing. And maybe I should focus on that with Tommy and Max. We're like, hey, we're disconnecting.
When you guys go camping next February, you guys gonna disconnect? Are you gonna have your phones and tablets?
How am I gonna do TikToks of us in the woods?
Yeah, everybody's
That'd
gonna
be
have
a good
their phones.
opportunity to do it.
Yeah,
I'm gonna do the first day in the canoe. I'm gonna do an Ask Me Anything on Reddit as we're going down the river. Then I'm gonna do a long form IGTV. I'm gonna go live on IGTV. Then I'm gonna do a Facebook panel. I'm gonna do a panel.
Then I'm going to give it to my
Tree con.
sons.
Then we're doing
in the
tree
tent.
con.
Yeah. So they shut up and like, here's
We're bringing
my phone.
a projector. We're doing movie night.
It's all electronics.
Then we're doing
what you
Smash
describe is
Bros.
awesome.
We're doing a Smash Bros contest under the stars.
Yeah.
Winner gets the world's largest s'mores. I mean, the people that do this kind of stuff that don't fight it, like just the dumb dads like us, they go like, absolutely, we're going back to nature. 'Cause what are we, John Candy and Dan Aykroyd? Go out there, a couple of fat dads, and they leave our phone. No, just take the phones and just lean into the technology.
Dude, when I was in Croom Forest riding four-wheelers and stuff, there was because I was saying the same thing to Crystal, and this when the kids were a little younger or whatever, like 2 years ago. I was like, it's good that we're out here. They don't have any video games. They don't have any distraction, no screens.
Yeah, they're miserable.
Yeah. But then I look over, and then like 2 campsites down, they just put all the kids in their trailer, which they set up a video game console and a TV in there, and then all the kids were in there playing the video game,
having the time of their life. And then parents are out by the fire drinking.
And then I'm like, well, maybe that's it. That looks better and probably more enjoyable for the kids because then so they don't sit, because you know what, kids don't like sitting looking at the
Sitting
fire
around talking.
Yeah, and we don't even like that because we have to be drunk. I couldn't do it sober.
Daddy's drunk. Go look for antlions.
Yeah.
Like, my dad used to have me go look for antlions, go look for bull ants.
I wouldn't camp if I couldn't get drunk. So why do I expect my kids to not play video games? Like,
I told Andrea's like, are you going to drink on the camping trip? Because I'm not drinking right
crazy?
now. Andrea's like, are you going to drink on the camping trip? I'm like, well, if I can, I'm not going. I mean, you can go by yourself. You can take Maisie if you want to. I'll stay at home.
There's no reason to camp without getting effed up.
That's like asking a pirate to sail the 7 seas without rum in his boat.
And I mean, like, when you get a different type of drunk, when you're camping drunk, you're like the drunk you see on Cops or whatever.
Yeah, taser drunk. I got taser drunk.
Yeah. Where you can't even really function.
You go 1 step forward, 3 steps back. You know.
You can barely, you're like, I can't even go to the woods to pee.
No,
because I'll fall down.
You just pee your jeans.
Welcome back to A Corporate Time. So I've been watching Hulu Live lately with Crystal.
Okay.
Only because like we haven't picked a new show to get into. We've been wanting to get into some staples that everybody says were like Mad Men and like
Mad Men? That came out like 2001.
I know, but it was like people say
I'm with you. I just started Peaky Blinders last
week.
Yeah,
Peaky Blinders. That's another one.
Never go backwards. If the show is 3 years old, you can't go backwards.
Maybe that's true.
I like it because everyone forgot about it, and I get to watch it without spoilers because I didn't pay attention to it when people posted about it.
But also, Mad Men's like a period piece, so
it's a classic.
It's like it kind of should hold up. It's kind of like Sopranos. That should hold up, right? I don't know. Anyway,
I've heard from people. Now I've never revisited, and it's one of the only shows that I've watched every episode from beginning to end when it was on. Kind of proud of that. You know, like there's very few shows I can say that I saw it when it came out. I was there for episode 1, and I was there for the last episode, and I watched them all live. And The Sopranos, and I've heard from people that it holds up.
Yeah, I mean, the well-written show, good acting.
Really
like,
well-written.
Like, that's all I'm looking for. It's like a well-written show with good acting that a lot of people have said is good.
Right.
Why not watch
Sam
it?
got me on a new show, and I forgot to say this. This is the one that I was thinking about when Crespo was here. She got me on that Pen 15, man.
Oh, yeah, it's great.
That is a funny show.
What is that?
Pen 15. It's also on Hulu.
It's on Hulu, and the girls that are in that show are really funny comedic actresses. They're really funny.
So anyway, we'll turn on Hulu Live, and I'll just scroll through the live TV, and then usually end up on MTV for whatever reason. And that's why
you got to grow out of that. It's the ridiculousness in you.
But now they started showing old episodes of Cribs, right?
Boy, dude, you're at an all-time low. I've been telling you to watch Below Deck Mediterranean.
I know. I'm not even watching it. It's because it's not. I don't even like it.
Yeah, I like to do what you do too. You put it on the background and you talk over it.
Or just scroll through your phones and no talk. Just scroll, look at your phone as the TV.
Sometimes we bang through it.
And
sad.
So MTV Cribs is on, and it was a Martha Stewart episode or whatever. I think this is after she got out of jail, and I think she mentioned COVID too, which is like, they still filming Cribs?
Yeah, it was 3 weeks ago they did that.
Okay, so this is new?
They're still doing it.
Oh, damn it, I can't
it
load
says
this.
MTV Cribs is back and better than ever. So they did stop doing it. They brought it back
All
now.
right, so I thought this was an old
All right,
episode.
I got the... You want to see the...
So I was watching it, and there is an epidemic with rich white ladies and their tiny dogs.
Pee-pee dogs.
Their tiny pee-pee dogs. It's been going on forever for whatever reason.
I love pee-pee dogs now. You're going to hurt my feelings because you know I got my two pee-pee dogs. I can put them on either side of me like an evil genius. I love my pee-pee dogs.
So, in a lot of... I've seen this before, and obviously celebrities, but also...
This is absurd.
In personal life, I've seen rich white people and have pee-pee dogs.
No, they get too many of them. They get like a herd of pee-pee dogs.
So there's one scene, I don't think we'll be able to find it, because it's near the end when she's talking about her horses in a horse stable. So
I'll go back and see.
She has a ridiculous compound, by the way.
She has 7 houses on her property.
Yeah. I mean,
and multiple pools.
Well, she's a billionaire, right?
Yeah. This lady is rich beyond belief. And each house is like a showpiece for home and garden. You know what I'm saying? Because she's Martha Stewart.
Well, I'm sure she brings her crew in. They set up particular room she's not using with $1 million stuff, and then they take awesome photography and put it in the magazine that she owns, or the network that she owns, like, the cookbook that she owns.
Everything, every plant is the best, most expensive house plant that's sitting there. I'm like looking at these, like the most expensive cookware just hanging. Everything is out of a magazine, right?
It's like it looks staged.
But the only thing that's not out of a magazine is her two wild pee-pee dogs running around, right?
Andrea hates it when I call them that too, but they pee. Like Maggie and Caesar are pee crazy all over the house.
So it's funny because now Martha Stewart has a little bit, like, I see her differently because after she went to jail and stuff.
She's smoking weed with Snoop Dogg.
And she's a little bit trashy with her pee-pee dogs, and like this lady that is touted for being like, have the most to put together everything.
I mean, the only difference
it's kind of a BS
you
facade,
put her in a DeLand trailer park, and those pee-pee dogs are running around. It looks exactly the same.
So there's one scene at the end of this, and where she
now I gotta watch it.
She brings out her horse, like it's some super expensive prize.
Bring
horse.
out my Arabian stallion.
Yeah.
She says it's the same kind of horses that the Queen of England rides.
Yes, yeah.
Well, then shouldn't she know the name?
She says it in the thing.
She probably says it. It's not in this article.
But isn't that what redneck people say? They get like, this here. Okay, hold on. This is not stand-up, but I'm just telling you the difference is that if you really know what this horse is, you'll be like, well, this is a Grecian stallion from the Isles of Galapagos. You know that. Instead of going, this here's the same one that I hear tell the queen ride. This here's the same lineage.
Yeah. So that's what she said. Then they bring the horse out to the pasture, and she's on the other side. It's on the other side of this super nice fence, right?
Vinyl or wood?
So wood. Oh yeah, everything. So then her pee-pee dogs are running around.
They want to bite that horse so bad.
Yeah, around the horse, and the horse
pee-pee dog
starts violently trying to stomp the pee-pee dogs.
I'll watch the hell out of
this with the full power.
Oh, you're gonna hoof them good
of this big ass 1,500-pound horse or whatever, because this thing's like stallion, right?
Pee-pee dogs are strong. They're chirping crazy. Those pee-pee dogs. Oh my God, I'm a pee-pee dog.
These pee-pee dogs are running around, and this horse is like coming feet away from stomping this dog flat.
But the dog is wild with a
we gotta find it. Hold on, we gotta find. Just go to the because
I can't. It makes me put in because it's so new.
It's new. You're right.
It makes you put in your cable.
So then she starts yelling at the pee-pee dogs.
I'll get it for you tomorrow.
One of the pee-pee dogs' name is Creme Brulee.
Creme Brulee.
No. Creme Brulee.
Good thing it's not your dog.
I can't even pronounce it. And then she's like, Creme Brulee! Creme Brulee! It's a big-ass horse.
You're about to get stomped.
Tries to stomp the pee-pee dogs. And then I'm like,
Creme Brulee, listen.
And I'm like, she's just as trashy as everyone else. And then I got great joy out of the fact that Martha Stewart has two pee-pee dogs.
Her dogs wear diamond collars.
Yeah,
and diapers, I bet, too, because they pee pee on everything.
And she's yelling creme brulee or whatever as her horse tries to stomp him.
I do love my pee-pee dogs. I love them. I just wish, because I was talking to my wife about this, because I know it's going to come up, especially, like, how much I love Maggie and Caesar. And they're little dogs. There's a sweet spot with little dogs.
Oh, she also has birds. Yeah, she's trashy.
Oh, yeah. I mean, she probably got snakes.
Yeah.
She has 14 blue canaries.
From the age of,
that was
4 to, the age of, 4 to 10, there's a perfect 6 years with your pee-pee dog where you have the best dog that you can take it anywhere, you can do anything with it. No one knows where it is, where it goes. You snuggle it places, take it. It's awesome. But then when it gets of that senior dog age, you do start getting the little wet spots. And man, is it bad.
Yeah.
It's bad, and I hate it.
Well, luckily, Caesar is slightly above normal pee-pee dog size.
He's like pee-pee plus.
Yeah. And then Caesar never really, Caesar had that throwing up problem, but never really the pee-pee everywhere. You get a little Yorkie.
My dog pee-peed everywhere before he died.
Yeah, when they get old, But I'm talking about they have pee-pee dog. Like, you get a little Yorkie or a little
some
Bichon
of them, they pee from jump to death.
Yeah. They just go around squirting pee-pee in your whole house. You got pee pads everywhere, and then your whole mansion stinks like urine a little bit, like dog pee-pee.
Yeah.
And that's how normal rich people live, which is bizarre to me.
It is bizarre.
Because it's like,
and it's usually
you have a nice-ass house, and then you're having a bunch
you're rich. You have everyone deep clean your house every day.
Let's take it a step further.
No, they don't know. They got pee-pee pads, and it stinks like pee-pee.
Yeah, it does stink like pee-pee. Let's take it a step further. They also normally have the type of furniture that looks like it belongs in Saddam Hussein's palace.
Yeah.
It's usually the opulent, swirly, you know, that like Parisian furniture where it's like they gold leafed it?
That's exactly what her couch looks like.
Yeah, I know. I'm saying that these type of women only have that type of furniture.
That's an $18,000 couch.
I don't believe that it is the dog's fault. I think that little dogs are triggered by opulent Parisian furniture. When they see it, they just start peeing wildly.
So if you had a tiny Yorkie in a trailer, it's not going to be. All right, I like this. I like the theory.
I feel like it because it's always around this crazy Parisian swirly clawfoot chairs.
Yeah. They also have giant houses where the dog can hide in a corner or hide underneath their grand piano.
You'll never find the pee-pee.
Yeah. They pee-pee, and then it just dries up, and then there's a bunch of dry pee-pee.
Yeah.
So how's the maid can even find it to clean it? Because I pee-peed under the curtains in the grand ballroom. Like, they're not cleaning it. They haven't had a ball party in a while.
A lot of dust bunnies in there.
So they've closed the doors where your pee-pee dog
It's stale in there, too. It's like stale urine.
Pee-pee's in the corner. Something about like having a bunch of expensive stuff that you don't use bothers me to the point where I feel like if I was ever super rich, it would drive me insane. Because eventually you buy stuff that you don't use and then it just sits there. It's like, for instance, driving around Seth's car. I'm like, this thing's 800 horsepower. I'm going down 436, the speed limit. You know, like,
it's fast for nothing.
I'm wasting 700 horsepower doing nothing. It's just sitting there under the engine. You'll never use it unless you went out to a tarmac and like raced. What's his name?
It's a terrible. I look at it the last couple days. I've been looking at it. That's a terrible car.
Yeah.
When did he add the novelty "follow me on Instagram" stickers?
It's terrible.
Oh, that's been there. Yeah.
Come on, man.
I understand it though.
Yeah. Follow me on Instagram.
It gets attention. I'll tell you on Friday. I got a whole story about driving around this weekend, but people ask you about it. People look at it and stuff. I don't know.
Have you gone windows down, stereo up? That's the way we liked it.
No, I'm embarrassed driving around.
Is it tinted windows or clear?
It's tinted. Yeah. You can't really see through it.
Oh, you're good then. Put it down just a little bit and then just, so people are like, "Ooh, who's in there?" And put your Oakley blades on.
It's not like a limo, like although that's kind of gone.
I don't think limos are cool anymore.
Well, I'm saying, but back in the day in the 90s, if you saw a limo, you're like, "Ooh, who's in there? What diplomat is in there?" But with Seth's car, no one thinks it's someone famous driving it. You know, so I'm like, that's the thing. Yeah. And they're mad at it, and they're like dumbfounded why you would do that.
You know what I like? I like the people around Orlando or other cities. I'm sure it's worse in bigger, crazier cities that will get a novelty license plate and like a vanity license plate in an attempt to make people think that they might be a point guard on the Orlando Magic. And you see these people.
Oh, so you get a car and you make it look like it would be the car.
Well, like it's like let's say you got like an all-white Mercedes, so you'd get like a Magic license plate. And then, like, I don't follow the Magic, so I don't know who one of our guards would be right now. But let's just say at the time it would have been Penny Hardaway. That's how old I am.
Yeah.
You would put, like, P. Hardaway on there. And you'd be like, oh, that's him. And you would see people, like, you know how many times I've been driving around here? I'd be driving around Orlando, and I'd see, like, let's just say a jacked up H2 Hummer, again, showing my age, all blue, it pulls up, chromed out, and then it's on the license plate, it says like Shaq 1. I'm like, oh my God, it's Shaq, follow it. You follow it, you open the door, old lady gets out.
That's a different kind of narcissism or something, like to enjoy the attention that people are getting.
It's not even your attention.
No, yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like,
it's stolen valor, sort of.
Yeah, you're enjoying the attention that people are giving you, thinking you're someone else, and you're getting.
Yes.
What are you getting out of that?
Stolen attention.
But I think
it's bizarre.
But I don't think they would say that. I think that they would say, no, dude, I'm just a massive fan. I'm a massive fan.
But that's not. But are you trying to? Because you're not doing it for others. You're doing it for yourself.
Correct.
But you could then try to lie and say, I'm trying to make people's day happy, thinking that they drove past Penny Hardaway. But that's not why they do it. They do it so that people look at...
That's what the guy that drives around and drives every day in the Lamborghini dressed as Batman, then people go like, well, why are you doing this?
Yeah,
I just like to make people smile. But the real answer is you're an insane egomaniac.
Yeah, you just want the... And that's what...
You're fueled by attention.
Seth's car is, because I'm telling you, when I went and got my smoothie... and I'll tell you the longer story.
How are you just figuring out that this was all for attention for Seth?
What did you think it was?
He's really into cars?
He's not a car guy.
No.
I mean, like most of the guys, like there's tons of guys in our BDM car group. Like our buddy Ryan, who's in there. I'm not going to say his last name, but that guy legitimately wrenches on his race truck. You know, like he's that guy. He's got a race truck, and that truck is just to go fast, and all he lives for is creating handmade parts to go in his race truck, right?
Yeah, that's his hobby, but he goes out and races right?
But if you looked at this truck, number one, you'd never know it's a race truck, and number two, it's nothing about it even like it's just a truck.
Right.
You never know until you look in, and he took out the passenger seat and the back seat,
roll cage. He's got all kinds of different stuff he's added,
and big fat tires in the back. You're like, oh, okay, yeah. But you're right. I know it sounds stupid to think like, oh, Seth only got this for attention. It just seems like such a because really
you're dumbfounded.
The only attention you're getting really is the paint job.
Yeah, he just wants people to look at him.
You don't need the Hellcat.
Engine, no.
Yeah. I guess that's part of it too, because
that's what you got to have to back it up, unless you decided to pose. I mean, there are a lot of people that will go now.
Get like a kit Lamborghini car.
You won't understand this, but I've seen this a lot in the GTI world, in the entry level sports car world. GTI is not a sports car, by the way, but it's, I guess a sporty sedan, a compact, a hot hatch, whatever you want to call it. But you'll see people that'll get like a regular Golf, and I'm only using this because it's my example, and then they'll just get a badge of a GTI and just swap out the badges.
It out,
And so it looks the same, but, I mean, technically, it's kind of stupid in the fact that it doesn't have the same horsepower, it doesn't have the tight suspension, doesn't have paddle shifters.
And the people
it's not even set up. It's actually set up completely incorrect. It's an economy car.
Yeah, and people that know the difference are going to clown you.
Yes.
They make fun of you.
So what are you doing it for is
I
the
don't
question.
know.
Are you doing it for you, or are you doing it for dumb people that don't know?
That's where I'm kind of searching for.
I'm not hating on it either way. Do what you want to do to your car. It's your car. It's not my car. I'm just saying I think it's weird.
It is weird.
Because there's nothing wrong with having the Golf as a Golf. It's a great car. It's just not a GTI.
I guess I'm just trying to figure out the purpose and, I guess the attention, because it does get you a lot of attention, right? Everybody looks at you.
It's loud, and both the way it looks and the way it sounds.
You have told me, well, if we're going to handle this on Friday, but I mean, you've told me it's not comfortable.
No, I mean, it's fine. I mean, it's just a drive around in a insane horsepower muscle car. No, she wasn't interested. Girls, not interested in that car whatsoever. Only old teens.
It's a dude
and
car.
Old men.
Yeah.
Every old guy in my neighborhood asked me about it. Every one of them.
Yeah.
One of them, I think, was walking
Guess
his
what
dog.
Seth is? He doesn't like to admit it, but
oh yeah.
But I think he was originally doing it for the girls' attention, right, or something.
No, he wants all attention. He claims it's for little kids. Remember, he said he wanted to impress little kids.
Never
but my
claim
sons,
that.
I wouldn't either.
Yeah.
But that's what he said on this show.
Yeah, my sons weren't even that, and they were just like, okay.
I mean,
Max looked bored.
Yeah, but Tommy liked it a little bit, but I think he just wanted to not disappoint
you, which is what I told you Friday when you left.
I love that.
I said your little boy's going to lie to you because you think it's cool, so he wants to impress you.
Like if I had the Batmobile or whatever, that would be
That'd
cool.
be cooler, yeah.
But just like a blood-stained Hellcat, they don't even understand the difference between a Hellcat and a Dodge Charger or any car. You know what I'm saying?
And
so
your
the horsepower they don't know.
Does it?
I'm like, this is as strong as 800 horses, and they're like, oh, okay.
Don't care.
Yeah, that doesn't move.
I mean, I would be more impressed though if you rode to work on a horse.
Yeah.
If you came in,
I would too. Honestly,
and I drove up and I came over here and I saw him tied up and there's doo-doo all over the front of the studio. I'd be like, what is that? I'd be like, this is amazing. And he's got blood stains all over the front of him.
People will compliment you because every store I went in, people are like, awesome car, but it's always young boys, not young boys, but 20-year-old guys.
You play for Orlando City,
like frat boys and then old dads.
Yes, yeah. That's seemingly the people that have only complimented.
Nice car, riff raff.
Like a girl did when I made that post on the BDM show, like walking out, like there's a tall blonde chick.
Whoa!
And she,
oh my God, I love your car.
No, she didn't say that. She just when she walked out,
drinking a Captain Kidd with a protein blast.
She looked at the car and then turned around and looked at me, but it wasn't because she was impressed.
Yeah. She's like, who the hell's driving this thing?
Yes, it was who the hell, what douche is driving, or like double checking, like, did that guy just come out of, you know, because I'm just some normal fat dad.
Why is Vinny Vulture Legs driving that fancy car?
Yeah. So it was more confusion. She wasn't impressed or think like, ooh, this makes me wet.
Oh my God.
But I think Seth wants that, right?
Yeah, but I don't think that's a thing.
No, it's not a thing. It's never a thing.
I don't think that's ever been a thing.
No, absolutely not. Waste of money.
Bye-bye.
Welcome to A Corporate Time with Tom and Dan. I'm Tom.
I'm not doing it.
That's the beginning. We can do it at the beginning.
Only the beginning.
Damn it. I'm Dan.
Let's do some emails.
All right. First email, Sam.
Okay. Hey, guys. Village's Tom here. Your reference to Ghost Ship on the segment with Concrete Mike made me do a double take. Somebody actually watched that movie and was traumatized by the cable cutting scene.
Yep.
I actually enjoyed the movie, but I'm sure most people wouldn't appreciate it.
I also had a cable snap on the Premier Cruise Line Big Red Boat. We were disembarking on a wacky radio adventure cruise. And one of the mooring lines, I believe that's what it's called because I looked it up, snapped from the pollution stack.
Oh, well, that's to hold the stack, right?
Well, one of the lines, and it's
the mooring line is
not mooring line. No, whatever not
support
a mooring
line.
The support line.
Yeah.
I don't know. Mooring line's wrong. I don't know anything about boats.
Yeah. Support stack line.
That's it.
Right.
Thank you. Thank God we had a captain here. And the line broke. And it swung down, and it whipped into... Tony Palmiotti might have been standing with me, and it whipped into a PVC table. You know those PVC tables?
Yeah, that's on the deck.
And it blew this thing to smithereens, and we stood there, and this is when... And then right after this, they ended up getting sold. Remember, Premier Cruise Line used to be the Disney's Big Red Boat? Remember that?
No.
It's before your time, but they used before Disney Cruise Line. They had a deal with Premier Cruise Lines. I believe it was Premier, and they called it the Big Red Boat, and that was their thing. It was like the Big Red Boat copywritten, And when this line whipped through, it hit this table. The table just goes everywhere. So yes, Ghost Ship is scary to me. But after standing on the deck of that cruise ship and seeing this wire whip down and shatter that. If that had been a human being, it would just bad, real bad.
Yeah. It
was really scary, dude.
Seems like that shouldn't happen, obviously, but they should.
People are remembering
make
Big
sure
Red
those
Boat.
Are all tight or not failing at any point.
It was very scary.
Probably if someone's killed by that, that is a gigantic lawsuit.
Yeah.
It was probably one of the most dangerous things I've witnessed that I don't talk about because it's just like it happened so fast that it was just like, oh, there it is. Bye-bye.
Because you could probably argue, like a lawyer could argue that there was some sort of lack of maintenance or negligence that caused that wire to, snap.
I'll email Tony and see if he was on that cruise.
Dude, that's some of the most dangerous. Like, anytime a tow truck is like pulling something and then, or like putting a bunch of tension on a big thick wire, and I'm just like, man, if that thing snaps, it's gonna
so scary because it whips it like a
whip it back.
It whips a chain like a rubber band. Now the chain is moving with like the same force as like a tiny piece of rubber, and that thing's gonna whip your brain splattered, right?
Oh, they would cut you in half instantly.
So if we're just applying MythBuster rules to what we're talking about here, which is the email about the Ghost Ship movie and that line, not a mooring line, some sort of support stack line.
The only movie reference Daniel makes throughout the history of the show has been Ghost Ship.
Ghost Ship.
That's Daniel Shawshank.
Well, would it whip you in half? It would, right?
Oh yeah, it would instantly obliterate you. I think it would. Destroy, explode your body.
Yeah.
There's no chance of living through that.
Yeah, bad.
I'm surprised that that's never happened and someone hasn't been killed. If it happened that once, I would assume that this is a regular occurrence or something.
You would think.
Or maybe it's super rare and you saw it.
It must have been super rare. The only thing that I could think of after talking to other people about it was that maybe they were doing maintenance on one of them or something, and that one just fell down. But it whipped. Like, when it hit this table...
Well, it's super heavy,
Yeah, but it was where it's, like, crimped, and they wrap it, and they crimp it, and it's looped.
Well, that length of steel wire is probably, like 1,000 pounds or something? You know what I'm saying? Like, if you took it all off and weighed it,
gotta be.
So you get 1,000 pounds of wire whipping at the speed of sound? Yeah.
I whip my hair back and forth.
Is she still doing music?
Yeah, she's like punk rock now.
She has a whole new album out.
Yeah, she's punk rock now.
Oh, really?
Yeah, like
she caught a vibe, bro.
Yeah, she's kind of rock and rolly now.
But like actual punk rock or like pop?
Like pop punk.
Pop punk, yeah. It's good. It's good. It's not bad. The album's not bad.
Next email.
All right. Hey, T&D crew. I want to preface this email with the fact that I've been a, quote, green Kool-Aid drinking Publixman for 22 years, almost all of which was spent in retail. I'm also an extrovert and will talk to anything that stands still near me long enough. Basically, as biased as possible. So let's go into this knowing that he is an extrovert and will talk to anything that stands close.
What are we talking about? I feel attacked. Are we talking about chirping?
That being said, Dan, chirp away to the Publix associates. Most genuinely, they don't care. Even if they aren't super social like myself, it's a nice distraction from the monotony, especially when it is someone that isn't bitching and complaining. Pro tip, the best people to talk to are the cabbage heads in the produce department. You can typically chat them up for however long you want. The good ones can sit there and BS with you and not even stop whatever they're working on. I'm not talking crap, that's my stomping ground, so I'm just telling you how it is. I worked multiple years at the Baldwin Park store, and I'm always jealous when you talk about stopping in there because I only ever go to see Buckethead when I was there. Thanks for all the entertainment. But see, again, you were biased.
Yeah.
Yeah, I see what you're saying, Sam. Okay. Yeah.
Now, the produce people at Publix, do they...
I don't talk to them.
Do they...
Well, he said those are the best people to talk to.
I never talk to them. I don't like them.
You don't like the cabbage heads?
Is that what they're called?
That's what he called them.
I don't like them.
How much do they know about produce?
Nothing.
Okay, well, that's what I assume.
I know more about produce.
No, like, are they...
Ask me any produce question, I have your answer.
Are they produce professionals?
No.
Like butcher, like the butcher, the Publix butcher, he is a trained butcher.
To call yourself...
You learn on the job there, yeah.
I believe it's like a tailor, or a chef. Like, you should not be calling yourself a butcher. Like, if you work in the meat department, that's different than being... a butcher, right?
They do have a designated butcher.
A butcher that is employed
that's
there.
What I'm saying.
That's a pro butcher.
That's a term.
So is there a pro produce person?
No.
But there's a produce manager.
Maybe the manager knows more.
No.
But he just manages the employees. Does he know about cucumbers?
The boss of the meat department is...
The butcher, I would believe.
And the boss of the produce department is?
Produce
the
manager?
Fairy. I don't know. I have no idea.
I bet, like, that's... I didn't even...
Produce manager, I guess. But not as cool of a title as butcher, though.
Until my buddy Fernando told me that to use the Publix butcher and then they like
this makes people mad. Don't say this.
What?
I got a lot of hate mail of people that about this. They're saying that you are spreading lies. Okay. They think...
What?
Yeah, I got a lot of emails.
Which ones?
Okay, Tom has said...
Tell me when you get these emails.
Tom has said that Fernando told him, which, by the way, I'm his friend, or at least he calls me a friend. I have told him multiple times that he can go to any butcher at any supermarket and ask for any particular cut of meat that they sell, and they will do it for you, and they enjoy doing it because it cuts down on the monotony of just putting out hamburgers all day, right?
Right.
Yeah,
that's all you're doing.
Well, I don't know anytime you're telling me the truth or not.
But I got email.
Fair.
I told you this. Fernando told you this, right? This is what you learned. I got email from people saying that you and I are incorrect and Fernando is incorrect and that butchers despise it.
Really?
Really.
But from actual butchers?
Well, I can't confirm that,
That's
right?
what I'm saying. I know actual butchers that say they like it, so I don't trust your sources.
Yeah.
And I don't trust my sources either.
Fernando asked the
It's our
butcher.
listeners.
Now, of course, he's working. I know, yeah. Like, I assumed they would hate it.
I assumed that they would love it. So I was going to say that you were right because I got more email. I got a couple of emails. I would say 2, maybe 3 of people saying, "Don't bother the guy when he's back there. He's got a job to do. Don't go back there. I need a pork roast."
Well, that's what I thought. And then, but Fernando's like, no,
right.
They like it because they don't get asked all the time.
That's what I thought. I was with Fernando on this, but I'm having to eat my words, and I think this is a week of learning that it's okay to be wrong.
But well, that's maybe a couple people that think like I do, where they think everybody's miserable at their job, and they.
Or it could be a situation where they were a D-head, asked for something in a rude way, and of course the butcher gave them an attitude back. You know what I'm saying? They hate it when you ask them to do custom stuff. Well, maybe it's just you, buddy. I don't know. I don't know the circumstances, so it's kind of hard to say.
Weighing in. This is from Grady C. Or excuse me, this is from. Let's go for Brock. He says, butchers are individuals and have different preferences. I will not accept that.
They're all the same?
They're all the same.
All the same for me. They're a lower level entity.
What? So
they need to all be corralled.
Let's go to the Publix across the street and ask. Yeah.
Okay.
Well, so along that same, so the obviously Publix hires professional butchers that know.
Not necessarily.
They train them too.
They train them. Yeah, they have a buddy that was trained.
They're making them.
But we can agree that the butcher, the Publix butcher, knows his butchering, right? Like he knows all the meat.
Meat cuts.
You could ask him like all the different cuts. He knows all
What's
that stuff.
That? He's like, that's a tenderloin. What's
it's
that?
Basically like an apprenticeship when you work in the meat department. You work your way up to butcher. Yeah.
And then so he'll know where the cows come from, all the cuts and all that. Like he'll know.
Because they got to order it too.
So, but will the produce manager know everything about like how to grow strawberries?
Hell no.
They don't know that.
Maybe Publix Corporation trains them.
They just get the boxes and they put it out.
That's what I think. If I go over there and find the produce man, I go, "What's that? Think fast." He'd be like, it's an orange
what
potato.
It is, but they won't know how to grow it or anything.
I guarantee you, I'll go.
Maybe they get trained to how to where
I grab something and I go, I got something behind my back, and what's this? And he's like, orange potato, and I'm like, it's a carrot, you idiot, busted.
No, do they know where the produce is grown and all the stuff? Like what region? What?
No, not unless it says it on the package.
I bet they do.
No, only
I'll
Five
take
Guys.
that bet.
Only Five Guys does that with their potatoes, and they have the toothless man write it on the chalkboard.
I bet they probably have to go through some produce training.
You're 100% wrong.
No, I'm just guessing.
Okay, I'm gonna. I don't know.
No, I'll take that bet.
Because what if
I bet they know as much about produce as Paul from the Weston Trading Company.
Who knows? Well, Paul and the produce manager of Publix.
I bet he can win.
And the only reason I'm saying this is because I'm guessing it's some corporate policy for them to go through some training about the produce that probably
learning your greens
that no one even asked them about, and it's probably a waste.
Right.
It's a waste of time. But
it's a series of film strips you have to.
But they have to know, because what if someone's like, "Hey, where were these strawberries grown?"
Guatemala. What's it to you,
dude? No, they throw. You haven't had a real job in a long time.
Nah.
They just throw you into things and say, "Hey, put this out here, do this." They don't give you training. Like, I don't know nothing when I go out there on the floor.
Well, I'm saying the manager, like not
the manager might know where it's from because they have to order it, but they don't. They don't know how to grow like crops and stuff.
Like I think
they have a binder. That's what the chat room's saying. They have a binder
that tells them where it comes from.
And they're like, "Where's this strawberry from?" And they go, "These are from California." It says right here. That's where we ordered them from. This week's shipment was from California. Oh, this last week's shipment was from Napa.
Yeah, because I'm just guessing with so many Publixes out there has to be someone like customer that asked about the produce, and then they've
where are these turnip greens from?
They weaved it into their corporate policy of training, and they probably all get trained on it, even though no one ever asked them. And it was one.
You think they pay the produce department enough to learn everything about all the different produce they have?
I blow all that money on that little thing that makes the thunder sound effect,
the misters,
and then miss the turnips while they're up there. That would piss me off if I was over there putting up bag salad and that thing went off. I'd turn it off before I put out my fruits. Like you just go, hopefully they got a switch or you can put a delay timer on that thing.
I wonder how the thunder sound effect even started. Like some
dumb old man did it to make kids happy.
Yeah.
And then
dumb old man that owns Publix, the guy that's painted on the wall, George, right?
The founder?
Yeah, George Publix.
From the 1950s?
George Publix. And then he saw it, and then it became popular at one of his stores, right? And then he's like, "We will implement this across our entire brand because we like fun."
Was it that, or was there?
I'm just guessing.
I go with that. I think, or maybe it was some sort of marketing thing where they realized that by spraying the vegetables, people bought them more. Even
Is there
though,
any way to change the
'Cause it doesn't-
recording? Can we make it like?
it doesn't
Can
do
you hack
anything.
it?
Yeah, can
We
we
could probably hack it.
It'd be fun to like
'Cause-
put a commercial for our show on that.
Because misting them doesn't keep them longer, right?
I think it makes them look nice.
It's just for looks, right? It doesn't actually keep the vegetables longer or help them.
I don't
like,
think
stay
so.
longer.
I've got a carrot in our bedroom right now that I've been misting for months. It's disgusting.
What is it? Like, look up.
It says fresh fruits and vegetables absorb moisture, and since produce is often sold by weight, stores use the misting systems to plump up their goods. It's a racket!
It's a scam.
It's
They
a
spray
scam.
'em, so when you weigh, they spray them before you weigh them.
Well, they don't spray them all. They only spray.
Oh, now I'm mad.
Oh, I'm mad at you.
That's on MarthaStewart.com, so
George,
you know it's true.
I knew you were doing this.
To
George
avoid paying
Publix.
extra for H2O, the next time you hit the grocery store, be sure to remove excess water with a vigorous shake before putting the veggies in a bag.
Oh, come
Yeah,
on.
I shake my parsley before I
It's
bag
big
it.
veggie, bro.
Yeah, big veg is trying to get you, dude.
If you're shaking the water droplets,
shaking it every
off
time now.
your produce, because how much more money is that? 2 pennies? Don't do that.
Well, I mean, over the
saving
course
my
of a
pennies.
company, that
have
was
some
what I'm
pride
saying.
in your life.
I have no pride.
No, don't shake the water off your vegetables.
Have some pride.
To save money. Like,
You know what? I bought my carrots today, and I didn't shake them.
All the articles I'm reading is that's the absolute truth. Wow, I did not know that.
Oh my
but does it
Well,
help?
now I'm mad. I'm so mad.
It's got to be over the course of an entire year. I mean, they're making.
They're just wasting water to gouge.
No, they're not
the
wasting
prices.
water. They're not wasting
It's
water.
not
They're
absorbing
using
that much.
water to up their bottom line, right?
Well, over millions of pounds of produce a year. I'm
It
sure
would make a dent.
I'm
yeah.
sure it ups the like
We made
$10,000 extra.
$60.
Or like maybe in the thousands over like the how much weight
Could be hundreds of thousands, right?
But personally, like a couple drops, water droplets, is not gonna. I mean, how
Let's
accurate
test
are
it
the
out.
damn
Let's
scales?
test it out, right?
Well, what I would do,
Well,
I mean, just cut to the chase. Let's just start hypodermic, like putting lead in these things, heavying them up.
You know what? I'm surprised.
We start a produce place, and we'll start pumping our fruits and vegetables with all kinds of saline,
Okay.
all kinds of
Or,
garbage to weigh them down.
Follow
Whatever
me.
he had in his shoe shack or whatever.
Yes.
Follow me with this.
Heavy.
I know some, like, being mentally ill cheap is more common than not because I know some people, like, that are mentally ill cheap and,
Yeah.
like, they will.
Usually people that grew up poor.
No. This has nothing to do with
You know,
poor.
sometimes
That's true because Seth.
Yeah,
also,
sometimes you get it on the opposite end where
Yeah.
they had everything and they have no concept of what things actually are worth.
Yeah, but those people aren't really mental. The mentally ill cheap people will not spend money because they.
like a Gilbert Godfrey. But,
Yeah,
but
yeah.
he grew up poor.
Yeah, but he's got millions. There's no reason for Gilbert Godfrey to take the megabus to his gigs. That's ridiculous. Like, that's mentally ill cheap. That's a mental illness. It has nothing to do with them saving money or wanting to, he's got enough money to fly.
First class anywhere he goes for the rest of his life.
But even just fly publicly, if you don't want to fly first class, fine. Some people
Rent
don't.
a plane. You got enough money.
But I'm saying, so there's a lot of, like, I've known people that won't, like, they'll drive around town trying to find free air at a gas station. Like, you're spending gas money, and that kind of thing, like, will refuse to spend money, not because they want to save money, but because it's a mental block, right? I've never seen this or heard anybody do this, but I'm surprised those type of people don't ask the cashier or like
Dry my vegetables.
No, verify that the scale is right at the Publix cashier because that could be off
By a lot.
Well, there's already conspiracy that the actual scale outside in the lobby where you stand to weigh yourself, that's off by 5 pounds. Have you guys heard that?
So you buy more groceries and get fatter, right? Is that what they
No,
want you to do?
I think it's. I can't remember if it was over or under 5 pounds. But then I
Nobody-
wonder, they also have the scales within the produce department where you can like put your bananas in there. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
Are
well-
those on?
Well,
Are
those are
accurate?
usually mechanical.
Well, you can
so
see it. Like, if it's off, you see it.
But the digital scale at the cashier, like, I'm surprised that I've never heard or seen, because I've gone to Publix a lot, right? Some mentally ill cheap person asked to verify.
Bring
this-
their own scale.
Oh, yeah, or verify if the
yeah.
scale is complete.
I
Like-
weighed it in the produce department. It did not weigh this much.
Or you bring a 1 pound, like diver weight, and you put it on.
verification.
Yeah.
And to verify that the scale is
You're right.
accurate. But I've never seen that,
You're
and
right.
I'm surprised that doesn't
it
exist.
had to have happened, though.
I'm sure it has,
God,
but I've never
seen every other type. You know what I see now?
because I've been to like the grocery store store with a mentally ill cheap person, and they didn't question the scale, which I figured they would because of their mental illness.
There's a guy now that goes to our Publix that reuses his plastic bags. I'm not hating. It's a good thing to do.
I know a lot of people that do that, yeah.
No, this guy literally carries them in his pocket. No, it's a good thing to do. I'm just saying
that may be for that's not. I think a cheap. That's for like saving the environment, which I'm all about.
Yeah, I'm all about that too.
Yeah.
Look, I'm anti-litter man, but
quit putting plastic in the landfill.
I'm trying to think of wild things I've seen. I've seen fights. I've never seen somebody though question, because how would you know?
Most people just take their word for it, which I assume that the scales are probably, they go off, like they use a lot.
All day. Yeah.
So, what if they're off by half a pound? Like, that could be a lot of extra money you're spending, and I'm surprised that no one's questioned it.
Dan Paul says that the state actually monitors that. So I would imagine if the state monitors that, then that's probably a lot of work for the manager of Publix,
Yeah,
right?
but I bet they let you know when they're coming to, like, check it, and then you can always adjust the scale.
Like slot machines.
A lot of companies do stuff like that. You'd be surprised.
We do it here. What are you talking about?
When you know you're going to have an inspection that day, even though it's like gross back in the kitchen, and then you know you're having an inspection, guess what? You're staying over the night before and cleaning everything up that night in the morning of. And it's gross every other day. But for that one day that inspector's there, it's tip-top shape.
Oh, man.
I'm glad we don't have to do that here.
I know.
That reminds me of, and I'll finish with a story, that my pop-up used to like this restaurant down in St. Cloud. I won't mention the name, but he used to like go there and he'd be like, let's go to this place, and I'm like, all right, and then we go there, like, it was kind of dumpy.
Yeah, you get set in your ways. Is what you like. And my dad had a couple of these.
He'd tell the chef, he's like, my grandson's Dinky the drunk, or whatever, they get it wrong. He's like, he's the bear on the radio. And then he got proud of that.
Minutes of comedy.
And then it got shut down for like
did not pass inspection.
It didn't pass inspection, like health inspection, they cited like extreme roach problem. and then the day it opened back up, like they just shut them down for a couple days, which I'm like, this place for sure didn't fix all the problems.
Right.
And then he said he wanted to go there and like
the grand opening.
The back, and I was like, oh man. And then like I'm not usually grossed out by things, like I don't care. I'll eat things off the ground or whatever, the hair. I'll pick it out. I just eat it.
It's a little egregious.
No, yeah, but I'm just sitting there. I'm eating the catfish, and I'm like, oh, roach doo doo.
Somebody guessed it in the chat room. Ghost knows you better than you think.
Oh no,
we know what it is.
Yeah. They emailed. I think it was our listeners. They were like, hey, that place got shut down.
Yep.
You go with your pop-up. I'm like, why'd you tell me?
Don't eat there.
I would have never known, by the way. Thanks for telling me.
Ignorance is bliss.
Yeah, I would have just shown up and I've never known that it had a roach infestation doo-doo problem.
Maybe this goes along with my I can go number 2 anywhere. But I have been eating at restaurants. I've told this story before. I've been eating at a popular Mexican restaurant where a guy and a girl argued, remember, and he made her cry.
Yeah.
And then a roach ran across the ground. And I'm like, there he is. Don't even care. Don't even care. Right back to my salsa. Don't care. By the way, that just makes me more like an animal. You're right.
Yeah. And then, like, if you throw your peanuts all over the ground, like, there's going to be roaches.
Yeah.
Of course.
Why did that place start doing that? It's stupid.
You're dancing on the table and there's poop on your shoes.
Yep.
Get off my table with your poop boots. You goddamn fake cowboy.
You with the slinging your poop boots at me.
You with the mini skirt, you can stay on the table. Yes, I'm gross. Keep dancing. Gunshot. All right. You poop boots off the table. Mini skirt, you can stay.
All right. Bye. Welcome to A Corporate Time with Tom and Dan. I'm Tom.
I am Dan. Let's just do it, buddy. Let's just do it.
Our friends Jana and Jason are here. How you guys doing?
We have upgraded to friends. I love it.
Well,
I didn't say that. He said that. No,
consider us friends.
One of my dad's favorite jokes that he used to do, and you can't really do it anymore, but like people would like you'd make a joke and you touch somebody's leg or you slap their leg or something like that, and my dad would be like, "Don't touch me. You don't know me that well."
And then a good dad joke.
He'd keep a straight face,
3 feet in all directions.
Yeah, and
please.
then people would be like, "Oh my god," and he'd be like, "I'm just getting you in the gonads." Something like that.
You adopted that because you've done that before. When I've like touched your shoulder or whatever, and then you're
like, "What are you doing?"
Wait, would your dad actually say gonads?
Yeah. Oh my god. Yeah. Gonads.
Oh, gonads.
Gonads.
Oh, gonads.
Your balls.
Yeah.
Is your dad funny?
Well, he was. He's dead now, but
Way to bring it up.
Yeah, he was very funny. Tom knew him.
Oh yeah. I mean,
He's super funny.
It's Daniel's dad. I mean,
Funnier than me.
he didn't come from nowhere.
Oh yeah, very funnier than me.
I'm learning that with kids. Like, man, you're close to who your parents were. In some aspect, or you got something in them.
Especially when you see the bad stuff. Like in Maisie, I'm seeing her temper, and I'm like, there it is.
Yeah. Wait, are you saying it's you? The bad stuff is
it's not
Andrea.
Andrea.
yeah. I mean, yeah, it's coming from Daniel.
I had thought before this show that you were really smart.
Most girls are sugar and spice and everything nice.
It's definitely. I am the bad portion of everything.
If like Andre the Giant's son has big ass hands, like we know where it came from. Anyway, sorry. So guys, I know you've been traveling. The last time we talked to you, you were in a spooky cornfield.
Yeah, just killed me.
You were laying on the floor because your COVID shot, and then
man, you single-handedly stopped everyone that watches our show from getting the vaccine.
Oh no,
I'm joking. I'm joking.
No.
But that is what happens, right? Because people see it and they're
once we dug out that microchip, I was fine.
So once
not supposed to laugh anymore.
When we stopped talking to you, we left you with there.
It was a bit of a cliffhanger.
Yeah, there was weird locks on the door, too high for you to unlock, and then we were saying this is a murder trap for sure. And then we said bye, and then haven't heard from you. And so what happened?
That doesn't make us really good friends either, considering we have their numbers in our phones, and we're like later, and we're like no, I'm sure they're fine. We didn't wait. I didn't even check in to be like, hey, the whole cornfield murder thing. I'm just checking on you.
I was scrolling Facebook and I saw you. Fine.
I did too. They're very.
Thanks
visible.
for leaving a comment.
I just lurk. I'm a lurker.
He's like, they're drinking their coffee dressed as elves, and he runs. It makes him uncomfortable because you guys have so much fun.
Funny.
Have they gone to a tropical destination lately? I'm looking for a bikini pic. I'm sorry.
We might go. You have
Weirdos
a bikini that you could wear.
Yeah.
Do you guys wear Speedos?
Speaking of goats,
I would wear a Speedo. Just can't find one large enough. If you know what I mean. Ding dong.
So what happened after we talked to you? And
we ended up going to Colorado.
Yes, we
which
did.
was really, really fun.
Yeah.
It's a Mile High City.
And we ended up staying on top of this mountain. And this mountain was so steep. Like, I felt like I couldn't go anywhere because my chair kept rolling away.
That's terrifying.
Were you like hiking up it?
Mount Everest.
It wasn't.
Evans, Mount Evans.
Okay. You're making a dad joke.
That's good.
I was like, all right, Jason.
That was well done.
I know Daniel started it, but
I'm going to finish it too.
Yeah, we did some hiking, and it was a little nerve-wracking. Like, there were times when it was so steep that my wheelchair started to like tip over.
She started going down, and to just like if you've ever been going down a hill on a skateboard and you start getting caster flutter, or the wheels start going nuts.
They call you the wobbles.
Yeah. Well, so she's going down this dirt mountain road, and she starts wobbling, and so when Jana slows down, she has to start turning.
Like a snowboard?
Like a ski slope.
Exactly.
Yeah, like a ski
Snowboard.
slope. You start doing
She doesn't have the brake fingers,
the
remember?
parallels.
She took those off.
But she couldn't slow down, so she's turning, and she tried to make a gradual turn, and I'm running to catch her. And Tater's just hauling tail down the mountain. She's doing that donkey slide with her butt to slow her down.
I'm familiar with the donkey slide.
I grabbed the back bar of her chair as she's doing the lean on the one back wheel.
What, like over a mountain?
No, not over the mountain, but just down the road. I was just waiting for the gravel burns and everything.
What do you do? Do you just do you try to?
So my hands are my brakes. I have man hands.
And it was
I don't think you do it all. I was just looking at that. I was actually going to say the opposite. I was going to say your hands look like really good shape. Like my hands, are very pink, like a pig that lifts no bucket.
You do have pig in a bucket.
I have pig in a bucket head.
Yeah. Very
like
soft.
pig bucket heads. Like I was thinking more along like carrying.
There's
got
to be a market for that.
Yeah, I was thinking like fairy tale pig.
He can't even smush an ant between his fingers. It's
too soft.
Yes.
Too soft.
So, yeah.
The ant loves it too much. Too. Like,
he just goes to sleep.
Yeah.
Well, when you have man hands, they don't.
I
love it
squished
as
an ant
much.
the other day. He was like, that's the stuff.
I'm going to tell you, there is definitely a market for that.
But seriously, do you have like rougher, calloused hands?
Go feel it. Go rub her hands.
Yeah, they're
Don't touch them.
seriously. When I first started
almost
dating
went for it.
Jason, he was literally like,
dad?
"Don't touch me."
Jesus, man.
Your dad doesn't.
I'm kidding.
Okay,
Dad doesn't touch me like that.
Yeah, but like if I go get a manicure, they'll take the pumice and they'll start.
Like what? Like that's what they do with people's feet.
Yeah, they do.
Get the foot pumice.
They start doing
You should
that.
feel how soft. She's got little pink pig.
Yes. Ant feet. You got ant feet.
You've got
really soft.
you've got opposite Daniel. You've got like
soft on the bottom and hard on the top. Oh my God, those are glorious.
wow, they are.
Such soft.
That's like looking at a human doll.
You got pig in a bucket feet.
Yeah. That's what we'll work on. We're going to work on that.
Sorry, but they are soft
maybe
feet.
abbreviate it. It sounds better. P-I-B. You got pib feet.
So you're.
You know, it's so funny that this is coming up because I get asked a lot on like our Facebook lives and stuff.
More in Messenger.
No, to show your feet?
Yeah.
To show my feet.
Weirdos. That's Tom, isn't it?
No, come on, let's ask you that.
I just sent you 6 D pics. Show me your feet.
See, at least he's messaging us.
I heard you got pig in a bucket feet. Heard it on Tom and Dad.
So
You could do an OnlyFans, I guess, but I don't think that's on brand for Living
I
Lucky,
think
man.
there's a thing called.
It depends on what they're paying.
That's true.
No,
That's
no.
true. You could prop up the tour, on a lot of feet.
what if it was just like Jason dripping some hot wax on your?
I feel like you already went in advance. How about we just start with a picture of the feet?
No, that's
You're
not-
already in wax.
Well, I'm just saying, dripping wax on your feet, it's not.
Yeah, but that's
sexual
advanced.
about
No,
that.
So
feet. You
soft though. Maybe honey.
There's a.
Yeah,
drizzle.
this guy's a visionary. You're like Walt Disney of feet. This guy.
Now you got it.
You know what? Dreamers do. As dreamers do, they say.
Dreamers succeed.
Yes.
So, did you guys took your camper right to Colorado?
Oh, yeah.
We did.
And you camped in. How'd that go?
Man, really?
Because I noticed you stayed in the haunted.
It was a lot cooler.
We stayed in the haunted house for 2 weeks.
Yeah, not in your camper.
Yeah, we stayed there for 2 weeks because we.
All the while, your
Here's the
camper's
thing.
getting hotter because nobody's using it.
Well, someone left the window open.
You went in there to
Not-
whack off, didn't you?
It was the so the
Why would
top.
you say that?
I don't
when
know.
you-
I don't know why I would say that.
Because that's what you would do. Yeah. Because I understood it. Because I thought it exactly.
Now that I know that's an option,
Well, you got to get away. You know.
I mean, it's too spooky in here. There's too many ghosts in here. I got to get out of here. I need a place where I just won't have somebody go woo behind me.
So you left the window open.
well, the
Something.
vent in the top when you're going 75 miles an hour down the road, apparently there's a little bit of suction that will pull that up just a hair, so that when it
100%.
rains, some rain can go in.
And it all landed on my side of the.
And Tater
Camper.
the dog did puke on her side of the mattress as well.
Tater.
That happened
Because
too.
the dog loves to eat grass in different states.
Yeah.
The
She
grass
had
was
all-
Colorado has the best grass.
That's what I heard.
So I would imagine nothing's better than a damp mattress and a coffin-sized room. You know, like,
Dog puke on it.
yeah. Like,
Yeah.
did it smell? Because I know.
Sounds like some
Well,
sort of
the beautiful thing
damp.
is that mattress just folds right up and you can pull it out, air it out. It was awesome.
All right.
It was easy cleanup.
I like how Jana's looking at Jason like,
it wasn't easy.
My side
cleanup.
smelled great.
It was embarrassing, is what it was. When,
Oh, no.
When people
Well-
have to put their mattress outside to air
Because she's
out.
like, they're going to think it was me.
Right.
It doesn't matter who they think it is.
Tom pees the bed a lot.
Okay,
So you
not
have
a lot. It was back in the day when I was drinking
But
more.
help her out, because like you've had to do this. How many times you've had to throw mattresses away?
No, I haven't.
In foreign countries.
No, well, there was a time in the Bahamas
Where they had to take it out of the hotel room, and then they put the yellow side facing all of the other tourists to shame you.
No, and they write your name on it. Hotel room this, Thomas Fan.
Yeah. I told, as they were carrying the two Bahamian men carrying the mattress out of the hotel room, I tried to tell them, I was like, oh yeah, we spilled apple juice in the morning for morning breakfast.
If you're explaining your
vinegar. And then he just looked at me and was
apple
like,
juice.
No, you didn't. And then I was like... I was like, oh, yeah. What was I going to say to that? He knew. I can't.
He's also a giant. He's dressed like a psychiatric orderly.
And he's mad.
Like all the people that work at hedonism are all they're huge.
Yeah. They do dress like orderlies.
They dress like orderlies because eventually you got to lock up some of their sex craze. They lock them in rooms.
We've been watching this show. I don't even know.
You've been watching the Lou LaRue documentary?
It's called it's about a hotel room. It's called Room 104.
Oh, I know all about that room. A bunch of fat guys with no sleeves in it.
I lived in that room.
I know that room well.
Why would you do it, Chandler? You know what he's going to do.
Chandler, what are you doing?
know.
Yeah. It's like you just put the bullets in and slid the gun over. Like, you know what to do.
So what is it about?
It's a weird... Don't watch it.
It's so weird. It's about what goes on in the hotel room.
It's the worst, craziest
And last
thing.
night's episode...
No.
Last night's episode was about two missionaries.
It's the most twisted
Two
plot.
missionaries. That's us every night with our wives.
Every night?
Not every night. I mean, every night
Every year on my birthday.
Well, every night the missionary comes to town. Every time he'd speak in the good word.
So it was like a ghost.
It's Tales. It's kind of Tales of the Crypt-ish, if you remember that.
I love Tales from the Crypt.
But it's so twisted. It's just crazy, weird things that happen in this hotel room.
The same hotel room.
Or maybe it's different hotel rooms with the number 104. It's somebody with a twisted sense of humor or sense of...
But they spill apple
Imagination.
Apple juice. Not apple douche. Apple juice on the mattress.
Oh, wait a minute. They've been listening to your story.
So,
wait a minute. Did you write for this program at all?
I'm sorry to keep going back to the RV, but
all right.
I know that there's something there.
There's 500 dreams there. I can tell you that.
There what?
About 500 dreams on there now.
Well, from people we met along the way.
Yeah.
And I'm telling you, that was really profound because we had grown men that were crying on our shoulders.
On your shoulders.
On my shoulder. At different gas stations we would go to because you ask them what their dream is. And
oh, wow.
Next
I wonder
thing
why
you
they
know,
would cry on your shoulder and not mine. I
would
rather that.
And Kansas, what's your dream?
Maybe if I cry on her shoulder, she'll give me a peek of those sweet pig bucket feet.
Who can cry that easily?
I can't cry on a stranger. Well, maybe I could.
It's
never.
This one guy.
It's been amazing.
This one guy, Lynn. Do you remember him in the Marysville Casey's?
His
Marysville
brother
Casey's
got cancer.
Oh no.
Yes, and I said, "What's your dream?" And next thing you know, he's telling us that he just wants to spend 2 healthy years with his brother. That's his dream. And then he starts like almost hyperventilating, crying, like
oh, you got the snubs.
Yes.
I hate the snubs because that's a real S right there. Yeah.
And was this just a stranger you met at
a gas station? Like, what's going on with the trailer? Who are you guys? What are you doing here? Small towns, people want to know, A, why are you here? Are you here for the Vietnam Traveling Wall Memorial, or are you here for the Mustang car convention?
Yeah, we're having a
It's funny because I'm thinking
a jamboree.
Yeah.
I'm thinking in the terms of like Orlando, Miami, where if anybody comes up to you at a gas station to talk to you, they're a panhandler or trying to scam you in
and they've
some
gotten
way.
more aggressive.
There's no other reason. Like no other reason for anybody to talk to you at a gas station except for them about to tell you some story and ask for money.
I have to like buckle down. I look at them. I'm like, I know capoeira. I yell things at them.
Yeah,
but even in like Macon, we've had people walk up to us to ask us what's going on with the trailer, because when we left out of here, it kind of looked like it had chicken pox with a couple of dreams on it.
Yeah, and now it's covered. I saw some photos. Any dreams on there that you wish you're like, oh man, I wish that wasn't on there.
Oh yeah, we got
because
this one man named Larry.
Yeah,
I went up to him and I got to talking to him, and I was like, "So what's your dream?" And he was like, "Never ask a dirty old man what his dream is."
Oh, big bucket all day long. Yeah,
right?
This guy's warm.
And his name wasn't even Larry.
And then it turned
I'm not giving you my real name. You'll find my child porn collection.
Turned out his name wasn't even Larry.
He was the one at the Mustang convention.
Yeah.
I just want to ride on some of your magnets and waste some of your money.
But now, so we're getting ready to travel again. I don't know if we've updated you.
No.
I think we're going to leave October 1st, right, honey?
Well, when is the Tony Robbins thing?
I don't know.
Oh, are you going to do that? That'll be good.
Have you been to that before?
No, but I've always thought that you could get something out of it, right? Like I always thought.
Jason,
What is
no, Jason,
I'm a firewalker, so I did the whole walk on gold. Yes,
I was going to say you changed your tune.
50 feet of fire. It was amazing.
It's like the Dunder Mifflin retreat.
Yeah, he's done
Michael Scott did that.
that's why he doesn't have piggy soft feet.
Have you watched Ted Lasso?
Yeah.
It's fantastic.
Yes.
We don't like the what recently happened with a relationship.
They jumped the shark a little bit.
Yeah, we were fans
with the Santa Claus and stuff. Or something else.
With the owner and the
Yeah.
relationship.
Oh yeah,
It seemed unbelievable.
Well, just because they haven't had that fallout yet.
No, Jason, I don't think we've hit that episode they're saying.
You guys are spoiling it for
You guys don't know
that. I think they just told us that Ted Lasso's having
So you don't know that Ted kills the. Oh, you don't know that he kills the.
It's the soccer player that
murder suicide.
Yeah, the murder suicide. Yeah,
the owner of the club.
So you're not up to. So the Bobbies break in. They accuse Ted of the rape, and then they take
everything
him
goes down.
They take him to Scotland Yard. Yeah, you're not there yet.
I'm not there yet.
Yeah.
Now, not to take anything away from your fire walking, but I mean, just the science. I know.
What are you walking on?
Well,
eggshells.
Walking on sunshine.
Yeah, I know they use the type of coals that don't hold the heat, and so
why are you trying to bust out?
I'm just saying.
So if the coals don't hold the heat, that means they're going to go right in your feet.
Tell them what the secret is,
because
honey.
those bitches are on fire.
I know, but I'm just saying.
I think there's only one way. We got to do it.
No,
I mean, if it was outdoors
He's like,
right now,
I've
I'd
held
just
cigarettes
walk
and they will burn you.
Let's shut down Broad Street.
I mean, if you put the fire walking out in front of me, I mean, the legitimate one, the way Tony Robbins does it, I'll walk across no problem in 1 second.
With no preparation?
No
You
preparation.
have to prepare.
Mentally?
Yes.
You have to
I'm
think
always mentally
cold moss, cold moss, cold moss.
You watch people that have doubt, and just like doubting Thomas fell into the sea.
Oh no!
That was your
Bible
original name.
reference.
You watch people doubting Thomas.
Well, that's what the preacher yells when
To
the
you.
sticks are biting to you. I'm just saying, when the preacher's yelling and the rattlesnakes are biting, I'm just like, come on, what are we doing now?
Why weren't we passing rat snakes instead of rattlesnakes?
We've started with fire.
With the fire, I can walk across that, no problem. Anyway, so where is Tony Robbins?
Fort Lauderdale.
In
I did it here in Orlando twice, I think. But it was,
I'm an idiot. I turned to Jenna. I was like, "Are you going to do it?" And then I wanted to kill myself.
all right, tires, cold moss tires.
I can't look at her now. I don't get uncomfortable either, man.
Oh, we have to get
I must be turning around.
Usually I do that.
I know. I've been hanging out with you a lot lately.
We have been working on our handstands.
Did you hear that? That was not. I go, "Are you?" And then I
I
changed.
could totally do that. We'll find a way to adapt it.
We got to somebody hold your hair back. We don't want you coming out of there with
No, you got to put the bun closer to the center of the forehead. You don't want it down here because it's too.
Yeah.
Let's just move on. I'm an idiot.
Well, we're going to have to scrap this whole
and then
thing.
you use your hand. What if you use your hands and touch
We
the
could do
coals?
the wheelbarrow. You know, where Jason holds my feet. I do the hands.
Yours is a lot more dangerous. Yours is a lot more dangerous.
Look how her face right in the fire.
Oh my God!
We should have thought
and
this
then
out.
they're like, you know what? There is no coming back from that.
We might get a good bra sponsor out of that
I
too.
don't care how positive you think it is. This is not going to be able to come back from.
Then Tony takes his teeth out and runs away.
Here, take these teeth. You'll be able to sell this for the medical bills. Good day. Yeah. He slaps his horse's ass. He rides away.
Jumps into his cryo tank.
The entire horse is made of money, though. That's
Gold.
You know, it's funny. Like speaking of like motivation, and you guys do a lot of this.
You're not anti-motivational
I'm not.
speaking either at all. He's not. You would think he would be, but he's certainly not.
Well, there's a lot that I went to a mega church one time because I lost a bet, and then when I was sitting there watching, and I was like, man, this I guess it probably makes sense when it gets to that big. And I was like, it was a lot of just motivational speaking, honestly. Like very little about the actual religion part. It was like motivating people to get out there, do things. You know, it's like, and I was like, well, it made me look at it differently because I was making fun of the mega church and stuff. But then I was looking at everybody as like, man, I mean, who's gonna be like these people are worse off now after leaving here? Like, if they're motivated to help themselves,
look at your support staff. It's like,
if you're motivated to try to better your life, how is that at all in any way bad?
My mom used to say that, as like a Christian, that she tried to like be the least judgment. I mean, you knew her, and the way that she lived it didn't always align with other Christians because she just chose not to judge.
Right.
Yeah.
And love everybody.
Yeah, and sometimes people go, well, you can't do that because there are certain things in the Bible. And my mom was not that person. She's just non-judgmental. But she would say things. She'd be like, no, it's not even about that. It's about a like-minded, you're all going there and you all are like-minded in the world where you want to be better. So just based on that fact and that fact alone, even if you don't believe in God, there's still a positivity.
Focus on your similarities.
Yeah, there's a vein that runs through there of like, just by pure intent of all showing up at church at that one time, you're not all showing up there for bad. Just this on that simple premise alone, it can be very beneficial, and it was for me. I'm not even what you would ever call a believer, but growing up in the church was very beneficial for me and the friends that I kept. And, it did.
Sometimes just having that little bit of foundation can be the saving grace when you need something.
Or if your family's bad, then you can lean a little further into the church, which I had a lot of friends do.
It was a pivotal point for me. Like coming out of my depression, it was like, it gave us a place to go.
Yeah.
It gave me a reason to put on makeup. It gave me a reason to get dressed.
Sure.
And then we started greeting at church and just saying hello to the little old ladies that would come in.
Yeah.
That was enough for me to say, okay, you know what? I need to be around people. I need to connect. And when they would come and say, I only came to church today was because I wanted to see you, Gianna, that was like my job.
Yeah.
Like that lit me up right there.
That's cool.